of Normandy tributes planned for this weekend.
Yeah, they came over on several Delta flights and are pictured here coming off the plane as we are getting very excited for June 6th. It's the 81st anniversary, or 82nd rather, of D-Day. And in terms of what these brave men were able to accomplish on the beaches of Normandy, we must never forget, because this is why we were able to overcome World War II, conquer Nazi Germany.
Right.
These people were the ultimate fighters, but for them, who knows where our world would be at this point. They're so incredibly brave.
I remember the original footage of those 18, 20-year-olds landing, in Normandy and actually going to fight for America, fight alongside our NATO allies, risking their lives.
Yeah.
We should honor these vets because, they've died over the last several years. Many of them are still holding strong.
Sure.
Never really honored. They need to be honored. They need to be cherished. They need to be remembered, and especially by the youth, who don't really have a good relationship with history.
Yeah, it's also a great time to explain the downfall of what happened with Nazi Germany and individuals who were taking over at that time. The youth need to understand this is the reason why we talk about America's 250, why we celebrate our veterans.
Go behind closed doors to witness biblical counseling with real people. Transformed, Monday and Thursday on theDove TV, encouraging and informative. Good morning. You're tuned to theDove, encouraging and informative, helping Oregon, Northern California, Idaho, and Nevada start the day with news and encouragement. This is Mornings on theDove.
Well, good morning to you. Welcome to Nerve Central. This is what happens.
Say what?
Whether there's a nerve in your right leg or in your brain from last night's selection results.
Oh, yeah.
We have it all right here.
That might have struck a nerve.
Well, yeah.
We'll see.
It was interesting. We'll have some of these results for you. California was one of probably the biggest, most attention yesterday.
Yeah.
But doing what I do is reading all the headlines from the various sources.
Yeah.
Gosh. It's amazing. It's amazing to me how they word things.
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up.
It's amazing because all across the networks last night is that Mayor Bass is advancing.
Yes, right.
But she doesn't have 51%. She only has 30.
Yeah, right. Right, so she's going under the runoff, yeah.
I know, but it made it look like she's winning and didn't even mention Pratt's name.
Right, I know. I heard that on, Pratt gets mentioned in the way near the end of the second half of the story. But yeah, and then we hear her celebratory speaches, and where she's saying, we're going to turn Los Angeles around. And I'm like, wait a minute. You're driving right now. Why are you going to turn it around and go where?
I know. Anyway, so we got all that for you.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else do we have for you? Kind of interesting weather out there.
Yeah.
Where did these clouds come from?
I don't know. It's kind of muggy.
It is muggy.
Yeah.
It is muggy.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that a little bit. Anything special today?
Well, especially with the primaries going on, grab your heart. It's National CPR and AED Awareness Week, and AED stands for Automated External Defibrillator.
Really?
Yeah.
I need one.
Clear. Clear.
No, we usually say that before we start an engine on an airplane.
Ken Davis was talking about going to see his first grandchild.
Yeah.
And he said he goes up to the glass of the human aquarium.
Yeah. Human aquarium. Yeah.
And he finds the most beautiful baby there,
Yeah.
And he says, there, of course, is the most beautiful baby. It's my grandchild. Yeah. He said, something happened I've never experienced. He goes, I started feeling lighthearted, and all of a sudden, lightheaded, and I hit the floor. He goes, I fainted. And he says, I learned something. When you're in a hospital and somebody says, clear, get up.
Yeah. Wham!
So enjoy that one. It's also National Play Catch Week.
All right.
And we do that a lot, In fact, I travel with a baseball mitt and a ball in my trunk.
Really?
Yeah, and the grandkids know that when Grandpa comes over, you better get your mitt out because we're going to play catch.
Good.
And I'm going to pitch to them, but they know in my current condition, when they're throwing the ball back to Grandpa, they better get the ball to me.
Okay.
Because I'm not straying to go and catch that thing if it's
Okay.
an errant throw.
All right, good
So
stuff.
anyway, play catch. It's also National Repeat Day. So play catch, repeat.
Repeat.
Play catch,
Repeat.
repeat. Okay, it's also National Egg Day.
Leg what?
Egg.
Egg day?
Egg Day, yeah.
So repeat that.
Yeah, it's nutrient-rich food. It has gone back and forth with nutritionists and science over the decades, with people asking the big question: how many eggs are too many for a healthy diet?
Good question.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, because it's nutrient-rich, it's got great protein source, but it's got that thing that sometimes invades our arteries and stuff, and then we need National CPR and AED Awareness Week.
So, is there a difference between a white egg and a brown egg?
Just the shell, I think.
No, is there any difference in the quality of the egg?
I don't think so. What say you?
Well, I don't know. That's why I asked the question.
I don't know. I'm just a...
All the white eggs come out of cages. All the brown eggs come off the ground.
Yeah, I'm just a messenger boy.
Yeah.
I'm just bringing you the story.
So, what's your favorite way of having an egg?
You know what? I like a soft, over-easy egg over a stack of pancakes.
Oh.
Yeah, it's nice. All right, and finally top it off with a chocolate macaroon. It is National Chocolate Macaroon Day, and of course the macaroon originates from Italy, and it means paste. When macaroons were first created, it was common practice to make them with almond flour, which is much cheaper and easier to come by than coconuts. Eventually, shredded coconut replaced the almond flour because they didn't contain any flour. The Jewish community in Italy ate them for treats during Passover, and these cookies are now a traditional Passover treat in Jewish households throughout the world. One of the very first mentions of macaroon in America was in a cookbook called Mrs. Esther Levy's Jewish Cookery Book in 1871.
Really?
Yeah, so
Macaroon.
it's a Passover treat.
Macaroon.
And also kind of tasty. So it's
like
basic. Yeah, I do too. It's that coconut macaroon with a little bit of chocolate drizzled over the top.
Yeah.
And then have that after you finish your eggs.
Okay, so you want a soft egg over easy on a stack of pancakes.
A couple of them, yeah.
Couple of eggs.
Yep.
Well, you're a hearty eater.
Yeah, well, you know, I
You
only
put hot sauce on your eggs?
No. On eggs, yes, but not on top of my pancake eggs.
Oh.
Yes, but eggs, yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Baby.
All right, good stuff all the way around. Well, speaking of macaroons.
A look at our forecast from Grange Co-op. Today in northern Oregon and southern Washington, Vancouver and Portland turn partly sunny with decreasing clouds and highs near 75. Wilsonville reaches 76 under decreasing clouds, while McMinnville stays partly sunny and near 72. Continuing through the Willamette Valley, decreasing clouds and highs in the low to mid-70s for Salem, Albany, and Eugene. Corvallis stays mostly cloudy and near 72 with overnight lows down around 50. Central Oregon keeps mostly cloudy skies from Prineville to Bend with gradual clearing in Sun River later in the day. Highs range from 71 to 73, while Boise sees increasing clouds with a high near 90. Along the Oregon coast, mostly cloudy and near 63 in Coos Bay. A slight chance of showers in near 63 in Port Orford. Decreasing clouds in mid-50s in Brookings, and patchy fog, then partly sunny in 58 in Crescent City, California. In southern Oregon, Grants Pass and Medford see decreasing clouds becoming sunny with highs around 80. Ashland stays mostly clear near 76, gradually becoming sunny in Klamath Falls in mid-70s. Northern California turns sunny through the afternoon with highs near 81 in Wairika, 92 in Redding, and 94 in Chico. Fort Bragg sees decreasing clouds becoming sunny with a high near 59. Around the Bay Area, Santa Rosa becomes sunny with a high near 89. Napa sees patchy fog, then clearing with a high near 87, while San Francisco and San Jose become sunny with highs in the mid-70s to low 80s. Across Central California, Sacramento and Stockton through Modesto become sunny with highs in the low 90s. Fresno through Visalia and Tulare reach mid-90s under sunny skies, and Bakersfield stays mostly sunny with a high near 96. It's a snapshot of your Wednesday weather from Grange Co-op.
There's a shot of our valley. We have some clouds over the top of us this morning, kind of locking in, kind of a muggy condition.
Yeah.
So kind of mild out there, but still beautiful place to live. We call that home. Mm-hmm. All right.
Well, when you struggle with depression, joy can feel like a fight, but here is encouragement to not give up with Johnny Erickson Tata.
A few weeks ago, I was struggling with level 8 pain. It was unrelenting. And I confessed to a friend that I really had to climb my way up out of depression. And she said to me, "Come on, you're Johnny. You don't get that depressed." Well, I do. I mean, I have to fight. I've got to fight for my joy and my spiritual sanity. And the best way I fight off the blues is to give thanks for everything. I make my heart be grateful. I stir my spirit toward gratitude. I stoke my thankfulness. God tells me to do it in 1 Thessalonians. So whether I feel like it or not, I compose a list of blessings and I recite them out loud. And I encourage you to do the same. When you feel depression creeping in, occupy your heart with a list of blessings before it gets filled up with morbid thoughts. Mouth your thankfulness. Your heart will catch up and your spirit will come into alignment. It's a great way to fight for your joy.
Yeah, I think sometimes you have to talk to yourself.
Yeah.
You ever talk to yourself?
Oh, yes.
See, I enjoy talking to intelligent people, so I talk to myself.
I like to talk to agreeable people, so I talk to myself.
There you go. And I like winning conversations. I talk to myself. But no, you do.
Yeah, I just hope nobody's listening when I'm talking to myself.
Well, when you look at the Psalm of David, some of the Psalms, he's talking to himself. He's talking to his soul. Soul, bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that's within me, bless his soul. He's literally talking to his soul.
Yes.
Snap out of it.
Great. Snap out of it. That's great advice.
Snap out of it, Joy.
All right.
That's our new ministry branch.
Go to snapoutofit.com.
There we go.
I love it.
All right, good morning to you. Happy Wednesday. Let's take a look at some of the top stories and, of course, what went on in California yesterday. Now, you got to remember, California is still electing.
Yeah.
I think this goes on for another month.
Something like that, yeah.
37 days or something. I mean, only California could mess it up.
Well, yeah. See, if they don't feel like they got it right at first, they got about a month to try and get it right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there were two big races. The first one, obviously, is what the mayor's race for Los Angeles County and all that down there. And Mayor Bass got 35% and Pratt got 30%. So neither one of them got 51%. So they move on to November for, or do they do it? No, yeah, go into November, I guess, for the vote. I don't know if they do a runoff or not. California, if it can be messed up, they'll do it.
Yeah.
But every headline, every one of them out there said Karen Bass moves on.
Right. Well, they love her. Yeah, they want her. Right.
And so it's really something. But the fact that Pratt is up to, there's only 5 points between them, that is really remarkable. Yeah. And so who knows how this is going to turn out. You still got another month of ballots to trickle in. And they're already finding ballots that have been burned.
Oh, really?
I mean, it is such a fraud down there. It's just.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, man. That's disappointing.
The other one is the governor's race, and Hilton and Becerra will move forward. Hilton has 27.8%, Becerra has 25.4%, so only 2% between the two. And so they'll be the runoff candidates in November. And again, remember, you have several more weeks of ballots coming in. But it looks like Hilton's doing pretty well.
Yeah.
By the way, a lot of red seats in the Assembly and in the Senate, moving forward to the election. So anyway, that's what happened down there, and it's got a ways to go. Hopefully California will see the light and save themselves from the cliff. You know, L.A., the problem with L.A. is not only the fires and the mess up down there, it is so bad, I don't know how they're going to pull the Olympics off.
Yeah, I don't know.
And why would you re-elect somebody that didn't even come to the fire? I mean, the whole thing is just, it's ludicrous. But anyway.
Yeah, because they don't look at those issues. They look at issues like ICE and Donald Trump, and that is what that's what they're reading, and that's what the news organizations are reporting to them. That's what they have to fear. Well, not the incompetence of that current administration in L.A.
Yeah, the syndrome is alive and well.
It's totally alive and well. Yeah.
Well, anyway, so we'll see if Hilton can continue to move forward and become the next Republican governor of the state of California, which will be a huge statement against sitting Governor Newsom. But Becerra also has a lot of problems, and I would imagine this race is going to get really dirty. This one's going to get really dirty, so get ready for that. So you have a top Republican and a top Democrat running for governor of California. I do hope that California wakes up. The Bass Pratt thing, again, it's only 5 points. It's not over. It's far from being over.
Yeah.
And the fact that neither one of them got 51% tells you there's a lot that could happen between now and November. So we'll see what happens. In the meantime, the new DHS chief, Mark Wayne Mullen, apparently he and Senator Murphy don't like each other.
Oh.
And they got kind of into a little spat and about what's going on with DHS and some of the funding there. And here's Mullen talking about that.
Wow. Senator Murphy, the outlandish claims you made there is just flat wrong. You start saying we're breaking the law, and you really start looking at it and we're enforcing the laws that Congress did pass. That's reckless. When you start saying it's unconstitutional, what's unconstitutional that we're doing? We swore to uphold the Constitution, just like you swore to uphold the Constitution. For you to throw my 275,000 employees underneath DHS and with a broad stroke like that is reckless and irresponsible on your part. We're doing the job that Congress gave us the authority to do. And our men and women out there every single day is enforcing the laws. If you don't like the laws, you can change them. We're not picking and choosing which laws we enforce. We're simply enforcing the law, period, full stop. When you throw out reckless terms and you start referring to our agents as being dangerous, unconstitutional, and lawless, that's why our agents' death threats are up by 8,000%. I know that's not what you want, but your political theater, that's what it causes. When you start looking at assaults on our officers, they're up by 1,300%. Senator Murphy, is that what you want? I don't think it is. I really don't. But I understand the political theater. I understand wanting to get sound bites. And that was obvious because the whole time you was giving your testimony, you wasn't looking at me, you was looking at a camera. I get that. I get it. If you have bigger political ambitions, fine. Just say it. But don't do it at the expense of my officers. When you want to really talk about funding, you haven't funded my officers. CBP and ICE has been willing to do the job for free. Why? Because of a reckless administration. Prior to President Trump coming in and saving America, you had a reckless administration that was destroying America by letting millions of illegals into our country. We're a nation of laws, and we're going to enforce those laws. What separates us from other countries is because people respect the rule of law. There's a reason why people are flooding to our country and not flooding to leave.
Whoa.
Well, there's been a couple of pushbacks that have been. Marco Rubio pushed some people back yesterday, too.
Yes.
And I think we need to understand the tactic now of the progressive or the left or the crazies, whatever you want to name them, is just throw the stuff out there.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And what they're now is running up against people that are catching this and throwing it back.
Right, and he caught it extremely well, and his delivery in throwing it back, calm, cool, calculated, that was right on the money.
That's, you know, you make a great point, because I think where previous administration people got upset is they took the bait of anger.
Yes.
He was calm, cool, and collective, and threw it back. So was Marco Rubio.
Yes.
When he was being butchered in one of these meetings about stats and figures, and he just flat came back with the truth. So this is unfortunately, this is where we are now. There's something here that got, how can I say this? Did you follow the anti-weaponization fund?
I did, yes.
Okay, and so this was created to fight back people that were politically targeted. Okay.
By the Biden.
By the Biden
DOJ,
administration.
yes.
And it was $1.8 billion. It's a big deal.
It is.
And Governor Newsom in California said, if you received any of those funds, we're going to tax it 100%. Because that's a battle in California, okay? Well, the Republicans now realize we better pull this one because it's interfering with getting ICE funded.
Yes. Yeah.
So they're willing, you don't see this very often, to really put their priorities in place where they're willing to pull an act as big as this in order to put the more important issues forward. So it looks like it's going to go to the House excuse me, and get pulled,
Okay. Yeah.
which is okay.
Yeah.
Excuse me for my voice here. But anyway, that was a very controversial act.
Yes.
It was, I think it was poorly put together, but the intention was good, but it was poorly put together.
Yeah, and the news organizations are treating this issue like they're in disbelief that anybody would even say that the Biden administration's DOJ was targeting people. They're like in Never Never Land on this thing. They don't believe it.
Yeah, I had Mark Meckler on yesterday. Maybe we have some clips of him, and he heads up the Article 5 of the Constitution for states. Bottom line is this. Our judiciary below the Supreme Court is totally out of control.
Yes.
And that's a big statement.
Yeah.
But when you look at how lawfare has occurred, and nobody, even though they got caught, and even though they admitted, and even though that they have been proven what they were doing was wrong, nobody has suffered the consequences of it.
Right.
So we have a weak link in our judiciary by which we're not impeaching judges, and we should do this. All you need to do is impeach about 3 or 4 of these things, and the message will get real clear.
Yeah.
But it's like letting the guy run the stop sign and say, well, don't do it next time.
Yeah.
Well, sooner or later, you're going to have a wreck.
Yeah, right. Right.
And that's kind of what's going on out there.
Yeah.
Anyway, those are some of the top stories on this Wednesday morning. But I tell you what, when you have those little cookies with coconut on,
little macaroon.
the macaroons, all right.
All right.
And the chocolate ones too.
Yeah, why not? Sure, that makes it a little healthy. It's got antioxidants in it.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to go macaroon hunting. You ever shoot one? We'll be right back.
Would you be free from the burden of sin? There's power in the blood, power in the blood.
Since 1934, Grange Co-op has been more than just a store. We've been a cornerstone of our community, owned by people like you. We proudly offer top-quality farm and ranch supplies, including our own Rogue feed, as well as workwear, Western apparel, garden essentials, and pet care products. By signing up as a Grange Rewards customer, you not only enjoy exclusive benefits like special offers and 1% back on most purchases, but you also become part of something bigger, a cooperative that you own and help shape. Join Grange Rewards today.
Applegate River Golf and RV Resort, a pristine 9-hole course alongside the Applegate River. Their clubhouse offers a golf simulator experience. The RV Resort is adjacent to the golf course with convenient pull-through parking. Applegate River Golf and RV Resort. Information at applegaterv.com.
I'm Susanna, and I contracted KA Designs to do custom cabinets throughout my house. We chose a really beautiful maple wood that really creates like a nice airy space. Everything was custom, and it was really cool because I got to literally see it come to life in person. We love to entertain, and we have a large family, so everything came together perfectly, exactly what I wanted. I highly suggest KA Designs if you're looking to design your dream house. Go check them out in their showroom. You will not be disappointed.
Your property demands equipment with more reliability, durability, and versatility built in. Kubota equipment is ready to get the job done right.
Our lives can fill with too many things, schedules, distractions. Why don't you slow down today and find Jesus' peace? He does say, after all, that where your treasure is, your heart is there also. So I encourage you today to open the Word and feel His peace.
Okay, welcome back. Happy, what is it? Wednesday.
It's hump day.
Yes, sir. There we go. Good morning to you. A couple of things in the backyard here. The governor, our own governor, Tina Kotek, is now moving very rapidly to position herself for the fall election. And so this is so interesting. If you unwind this story, it could almost drive you over the edge, but, be calm.
Okay.
Sooner or later, the crazy gets exposed. You ever notice it?
Yeah.
Sooner or later, the truth comes out. It's just a matter of time.
Right.
Okay. And the scripture says your sins are to be shouted from the rooftop. Okay. Well, that's media.
Oh, yes.
That's media.
They got to be willing to do their job.
Well, anyway, she has taken her current chief of staff and moved that person, Chris Warner, over to head up the troubled Oregon Department of Transportation. Now, isn't this something? $350 million shortfall produces a $15 billion special session funding packages that got reduced to 4.3. The citizens rose up and said, no way, Jose. And then they codified it by voting it down in the May primary, which it should have been on the November ballot. And now she's admitting that there's trouble at ODOT, so I'm going to take my chief of staff and move him over there to fix the problem.
Oh, boy.
In between all that, supposedly the $350 million shortfall was fixed by some budget finagling within the agency.
Did anybody explain that? How was that accomplished?
I just don't know.
Isn't that amazing?
So anyway, but she's moving some bodies around, and I think what this is doing is she's coming up with her campaign strategy for the fall.
Oh.
Now, think about this, folks. There is one other little thing about this that's kind of interesting. Remember when she put together this business-friendly deal? She got Tim Knopp, who was a Republican, to be the chairman of it.
Right.
Have you heard anything about this committee?
Not a drop. Nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, that's what's happening in our backyard.
Okay.
This is happening in your backyard.
Oh.
In fact, it's happening at your church.
What?
You know Jerry Minor?
Yes, he's a comedian.
Well, he's coming to your church this weekend.
Yep.
Out there in the pavilion out back.
Right, and it's a beautiful place for a concert. There's going to be a band, The River, to open up for Jerry. Yeah. And and like I said, it's a beautiful place in the back there, and I think we're supposed to have good weather, aren't we?
Yeah, well, ask yourself.
Okay. Wait a minute.
Anyway, tickets are $15, a family of four, $60. Go on out there. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I don't know. This is kind of a last minute. You knew about this. I didn't. But I understand this guy's pretty funny.
Yes. And, we need a little bit more levity, a little more laughter in the Christian community, and he'll deliver it.
All right.
And River's a great band. You're going to enjoy their music. So, sounds like a great night out for the family.
Saturday night.
Saturday night.
Okay, so check it out at the Trail Christian Fellowship if you want to hear Jerry Minor, and go on out there and have a good time. And are you going to be there?
I'm not sure. I have some pressing items before some medical issues that are coming up next week.
You know what?
What?
I think we ought to roll you out in a gurney.
Roll me out there.
This is Jerry Belden.
If I can make it, I will.
We'll do a GoFundMe account and roll you out on a journey. In a gurney.
Oh, no. Thanks, but no thanks.
Okay, let's take a look at the satellite image. Here's what's going on out there. We do have a little bit of weather over the top of us. There was quite the system that came through, but it doesn't look like it's going to produce much other than make the temperature a little muggy.
Right, and like near 80 today, and 80 degrees under sunny skies tomorrow, and then upper 80s by Friday. Yeah. Saturday cooling off into the upper 60s, making for a lovely evening Saturday night with no rain, and it's going to be a perfect time to get together for a little comedy and music at Trail Christian Fellowship.
Take your macaroons and go.
Saturday's the day. Hey, we keep hearing, especially from Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, that oil prices are going to go down, right?
Yeah.
Before midterms, right?
You know what I paid this morning?
What?
What do you think I paid this morning?
Well, you're buying gasoline.
Yeah.
Right? See, I buy diesel, so I'm kind of unplugged from gas prices. I would, somewhere in the mid fives?
No.
What?
$4.65.
No way. Really?
Yeah. $4.65 right down here at Pilot.
$4.65.
Yeah, and I thought, man, I better fill up.
Yeah. Did you?
Yeah.
Good.
I go, wow. Isn't it interesting how 10 cents makes you a happy day?
I've been wondering out loud, why am I paying more for diesel than you are for unleaded? Because diesel takes less refinery action to produce than unleaded does.
Yeah.
So it costs less to make. You know what it is? Taxes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's taxes.
You have more. They get the truckers.
Yeah. Yes, and they got me, and I'm not even a trucker, but
I also read an article about how EVs are really falling through the floor.
Yeah, and you know what's making it?
It's just not. It's just
regular flat-out EVs are exactly that. They're falling through the floor. And you know what's making kind of a resurgence now are the hybrids.
Yes.
Yes.
Makes sense. The hybrid makes sense.
It really does.
But the total EVs, they don't make any. And then they want to tax you for using the road.
Okay.
So all of a sudden, sooner or later, the government got hands in both pockets.
Repeal diesel taxes. Repeal diesel taxes.
I'm running for governor.
Well, anyway.
Well, no, I'm not.
I wish
I'll
you
call
were.
Christine. Christine, repeal the diesel tax.
I think Christine could do it. So with this in mind, midterm oil prices, former Energy Secretary under President Donald Trump, Dan Brouillette, and I'm not sure how to pronounce that, joined Fox Business this morning with Maria, and they responded to a clip from Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent.
Crude, West Texas, is down about 25%. It's down about 12% this month. Gasoline prices are, I think, about 5% now, and they will go back down. We understand that there is a disturbance here, that it's uncomfortable for people, but we're going to get to the other side of that. And I think on the other side, the oil market is going to be very well supplied. The UAE has come out of OPEC. I think we maybe got some permanent demand destruction out in Asia. So I am very confident that the energy prices are going to come down very quickly.
Look, I think Secretary Bessent is correct. The long term, when you look at the futures curve, it does show oil pricing going down, and that means the market is expecting some closure, some ceasefire to be extended, or some resolution to this conflict overall. So the optimism is shown in the long-term pricing. But as Mike Wirth, the CEO of Chevron, pointed out just recently, the short term looks quite different. Storages are being drawn down rather quickly. Refineries are pulling that crude into the market, refining it and putting it in the form of diesel and gasoline. Those storage prices, or those storage levels, when they go down, create scarcity in the marketplace. And that's going to put upward pressure on prices in the near term. So the Secretary is correct. Long-term prices will come down once the overall crude markets stabilize, ships start to move through the Strait of Hormuz. But in the near term, we may see some price increases.
Well, the part of this equation that needs to be remembered is the question you've asked, I've asked, a lot of people have asked, and that is why, if we are energy self-sustaining, why are our prices high?
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's called market.
Yep.
Okay. There's another term you could use in capitalism, but it wouldn't go over very well here.
Oh.
Okay. But the bottom line is, when these prices come down, they'll come down quicker in the United States than anywhere else because we are self-sufficient.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
So we'll have a better chance of lowering the prices faster from the market than other countries who are totally dependent on foreign oil.
Right. And I know one part of the factor is the refinery issue, and I know California is going south in that department, and they're importing more and more, foreign oil to be sustained. But there is a new facility that is in progress in Texas.
Yes.
I wonder if there are more plans, because the refinery issue is real.
It is real, and I think you're going to see the Gulf states where you can get a ship in and out will become the refinery centrals of America.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So good stuff all the way around. Good morning to you. Chocolate macaroons. Boy, you got that in my head now.
Yeah, why not?
But you know what's sitting on the counter over there, which is only about 20 feet away from
I
us?
can hardly avoid looking at it.
We had 11 of those in here yesterday.
No way.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad you saved one.
Well, it was a fight. Fresh apple pies from Punkies.
Punkies, yeah.
And there's one left over there, and I think Alice has already got a slice out of
Can't
it.
beat it. Looks like health food to me.
Yeah, so apple pies for breakfast?
I think so.
Okay, nuke it a little bit?
Why not?
Okay.
You got any ice cream?
Oh, gosh.
Oh.
I got an ice cream bar. Can you melt it? We'll be right back.
Okay. Will rise, the saints will sing of Jesus Christ, our Savior, King
Since 1934, Grange Co-op has been more than just a store. We've been a cornerstone of our community, owned by people like you. We proudly offer top-quality farm and ranch supplies, including our own Rogue feed, as well as workwear, Western apparel, garden essentials, and pet care products. By signing up as a Grange Rewards customer, you not only enjoy exclusive benefits like special offers and 1% back on most purchases, but you also become part of something bigger, a cooperative that you own and help shape. Join Grange Rewards today.
Hi, I'm the SOS Alarm guy, here to tell you about a great deal. SOS Alarm will not only beat any internet deal, but will install the system too. So burglars, beware. SOS Alarm for security and beyond.
Hi, welcome back. Happy Wednesday.
Yeah, that's it.
You're trying to push me along, aren't you?
Hey, no. It's all downhill from here.
Are you making fun of my age?
We don't.
I'm going to make fun of your right foot.
All is fair. Yes.
Anyway, good morning to you. A lot going on. Let's check in with CBN News and get the latest of the Middle East and, in particular, Israel.
Iran and the U.S. exchanging more strikes in recent days. CENTCOM announced it conducted self-defense strikes on Iranian radar and command and control sites after Iran shot down a Predator drone operating over international waters. Kuwait also announced Monday morning it intercepted incoming drone and missile fire. This as President Trump continues efforts to work out a deal that must include Iran opening the Strait of Hormuz, guaranteeing it won't pursue a nuclear weapon, and turning over its enriched uranium.
I would rather get a deal because we can open the strait immediately upon signing. The one guarantee that I have to have is that there will be no nuclear weapons. They've agreed to that.
The president says he's not in a rush.
If you're going to be in a hurry, you're not going to make a good deal. And slowly but surely, we're getting, I think, what we want. And if we don't get what we want, we're going to end it a different way.
Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth says President Trump is keeping the military option open. The Jerusalem Post reporting that Iran's president has submitted his resignation, citing that the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps has effectively taken over large portions of the government. This, as CNN reports, Iran is restoring access to a majority of its underground storage sites of ballistic missiles and maintains up to 70% of its mobile launchers. One U.S. official says Iran has exceeded all timelines for this reconstitution. Iranian-born analyst Ali Siadatan says despite its bluster, the regime is failing.
So that's what people need to understand, that they like to put on the appearance of strength, that they're very far from falling. But what we're seeing is that they are the weakest they've been in 47 years, fragile and isolated, and economically devastated.
Siadatan says President Trump has an historic opportunity.
President Trump can be the man that brings down this Iron Curtain and be the Reagan of this generation, or he can be a president like Carter, like Obama, that ended up being more the appeasers and the deal makers, the ones that threw a lifeline and prolonged the suffering of the region, the cycle of war, and the suffering of the people.
In Lebanon, for the first time in 26 years, the IDF captured the Beaufort Castle, once a Hezbollah stronghold, and in extremely strategic high ground. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he plans to expand Israel's control, not only inside Lebanon, but in places previously controlled by Israel's enemies.
The capture of Beaufort is a dramatic stage and a dramatic change in the policy we're leading. We've broken the barrier of fear. We're taking the initiative. We're operating on all fronts, in Syria, in Gaza, in Lebanon. We've established security zones beyond our borders to protect our communities.
Chris Mitchell, CBN News, Jerusalem.
A flurry of high-stakes diplomacy erupted after Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu drew a red line over Hezbollah's ongoing attacks on towns in northern Israel.
I have instructed the IDF to strike terrorist targets in Beirut. There will not be a situation in which Hezbollah attacks our cities and our citizens, and its terrorist headquarters in Beirut remain out of bounds.
That declaration triggered a threat by Iran to walk away from negotiations with the U.S. over Israel's war with Hezbollah. At that point, President Trump intervened. In a Truth Social post, Trump said he spoke directly with Netanyahu. Trump wrote he turned his troops around. Thank you, Bibi. Trump added, I also had a conversation with representatives of the leaders of Hezbollah, and they agreed to stop shooting at Israel. The announcement came as Axios reported that Trump sharply criticized Netanyahu during a phone call, warning that further military action would derail efforts to reach a deal with Iran. That message was echoed in Tehran.
We emphasized and continue to emphasize that a ceasefire in Lebanon is an integral part of any ceasefire and any final agreement to end the war.
Iran has already suspended indirect message exchanges with the United States and is demanding the immediate cessation of Israeli military operations in Gaza and Lebanon. Yet despite the diplomatic push, attacks last night continued as the Israel Defense Forces reported intercepting 2 Hezbollah rockets launched towards the city of Sfad in northern Israel, and a Hezbollah drone struck a military position in the western Galilee. No injuries were reported. From his side, Prime Minister Netanyahu stated, I spoke this evening with President Trump and told him that if Hezbollah does not stop attacking our cities and civilians, Israel will strike terrorist targets in Beirut. This position remains unchanged. Retired General Jack Keane told Fox News the scale of the violations gives Israel every reason to respond.
The Iranians have fired 2,400 or so missiles and drones into northern Israel in that short span of time. We actually have justification right now to go back into military operations. The president is certainly full aware of that.
For now, President Trump is working to preserve both the fragile ceasefire and a possible deal with Iran. Yet the future of any deal remains on shaky ground. Joshua Swanson, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Well, there you go. You know, I heard different reports about the conversation between the president and the prime minister.
Yeah.
And the question I have is, are those reports true?
I've been wondering about it myself, yes.
Because normally, you got to remember that there are news organizations out there that are quicker on the draw to propagate these things,
yes,
especially through social media.
Right, and they hear something that someone said that heard it from someone else, so you get this hearsay stuff, but that gets reported as fact.
Yeah. I can't imagine that the president and the prime minister would have a stern moment like that. And yet that's what's being reported. So something to me doesn't pass the smell test here. Right. So anyway, so be it. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to be a fly on the wall in their conversations.
Yeah.
Their relationship really remind me a lot of FDR and Churchill.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So we need our little flash thing.
What's that?
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Okay. All right, let's check out the weather with a guy that's always happening.
A look at our forecast from Grange Co-op. Today in northern Oregon and southern Washington, Vancouver and Portland turn partly sunny with decreasing clouds and highs near 75. Wilsonville reaches 76 under decreasing clouds, while McMinnville stays partly sunny and near 72. Continuing through the Willamette Valley, decreasing clouds and highs in the low to mid-70s for Salem, Albany, and Eugene. Corvallis stays mostly cloudy and near 72 with overnight lows down around 50. Central Oregon keeps mostly cloudy skies from Prineville to Bend with gradual clearing in Sun River later in the day. Highs range from 71 to 73, while Boise sees increasing clouds with a high near 90. Along the Oregon coast, mostly cloudy and near 63 in Coos Bay. A slight chance of showers in near 63 in Port Orford. Decreasing clouds in mid-50s in Brookings and patchy fog, then partly sunny in 58 in Crescent City, California. In southern Oregon, Grants Pass and Medford see decreasing clouds becoming sunny with highs around 80. Ashland stays mostly clear near 76, gradually becoming sunny in Klamath Falls in mid-70s. Northern California turns sunny through the afternoon with highs near 81 in Wairika, 92 in Redding, and 94 in Chico. Fort Bragg sees decreasing clouds becoming sunny with a high near 59. Around the Bay Area, Santa Rosa becomes sunny with a high near 89. Napa sees patchy fog, then clearing with a high near 87, while San Francisco and San Jose become sunny with highs in the mid-70s to low 80s. Across Central California, Sacramento and Stockton through Modesto become sunny with highs in the low 90s. Fresno through Visalia and Tulare reach mid-90s under sunny skies, and Bakersfield stays mostly sunny with a high near 96. It's a snapshot of your Wednesday weather from Grange Co-op.
Oh, yes, on this June 3rd, can you imagine? We're looking all the way back just a few years to 2017 when rock climber Alex Honnold accomplished what many experts had considered impossible. Look at this.
Honnold became the first person ever to free solo climb El Capitan in California's Yosemite National Park, scaling the 3,000-foot granite wall completely alone, without ropes, harnesses, or safety equipment. The climb took just under 4 hours, but it was the result of years of preparation. Honnold had memorized thousands of handholds and footholds, knowing that a single mistake could be fatal. One of the most difficult sections, known as the boulder problem, required him to make a series of precise moves nearly 2,000 feet above the ground. The achievement stunned the climbing world and became the subject of the documentary film Free Solo, which went on to win the Academy Award for Best Documentary. Even today, Honnold's climb is widely considered one of the greatest athletic feats ever accomplished, proving that sometimes the biggest obstacles are conquered one careful step at a time.
Yeah, that is a great example of why God gave us fingers and toes. That's all he had. Getting
made for that?
Yeah. Well, that's one of the examples, but I like that. I was watching a little video from the documentarian, the guy who made the film that won the Academy Award, and he said when he got to the boulder problem, which was the big issue there, he says, we were all stunned on our monitors. They were watching, and he paused, looked over at the camera, and smiled. And then continued on.
Really?
Yes.
I can't even imagine what he did.
No.
I mean, and here's the question. Did he ever look down?
You know, that is the question, because that can be a real dangerous thing, can't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw him recently. He climbed a skyscraper in like Taipei. His wife was there with him, and there were literally hundreds of thousands of people down on the street level watching him. And now, so it was some promotional climb for the tower that he was so he was obviously being compensated. He has monetized his climbing, obviously, in the film, and he would climb up to a certain level, and then he'd walk out. He would be on an edge, and he would just walk on there, wave at the people, and they would erupt. They were going crazy. I thought, wow, this is pretty cool.
It's all I can do to look outside the window of an airplane. And I'm flying it.
Yeah.
No, that's cool.
Yeah, very
that's
good.
That's really, really, really cool. All right. Have you ever dealt with the issue, the fear of the Lord? And do you ever consider it maybe a gift from God for your life? Well, here's Crossway talking about that.
When we think about the fear of God, what are we talking about? So we're talking about a love for God as Father and as our friend, but we're also talking about a sorrow for sin. So there is this sort of like loving, reverent posture is sort of what we're trying to get at. And so what Scripture does is Scripture provides us warnings that evoke fear in us. Scripture provides sort of promises that when God keeps these promises, what that does is it prompts us to actually revere and lovingly revere God. But Scripture is also the means through which God makes us into the kinds of new creation people who will love God from the bottom of our hearts and will be sorrowful for sin. And so there's a writer who was involved in the sort of framing of the Heidelberg Catechism, and he talks about how the fear of God is birthed in those who are regenerate or regenerate in this life, is the way that he frames it, right? And so when we think about the Word is God's instrument to make us born again, have new birth, to be regenerate. And when we're regenerate through the Word, we actually will grow in our love and fear for God. The fear of God is a gift in that the fear of God is a gateway to God's other gifts, right? So the fear of God is the means through which we gain wisdom and understanding according to Proverbs. The fear of God leads to life. The fear of God leads to blessedness. So the fear of God is a gift in and of itself. The fear of God is a gift also in the fact that it's not something that we can sort of engender on our own. And so because God is the only one who can bring about the new birth that creates this sort of love for him and sorrow for sin, in that sense, the fear of God can only be seen as primarily a gift from God himself.
Mm-hmm. Pretty interesting twist on that. All right, we'll take a
pie.
Really?
Okay, macaroon.
Okay.
Okay.
Welcome to Fish Lake Resort, where adventure is everywhere, and everyone is your friend. The fishing is great, and the food is tasty. The RV sites are full hookup, and the cabins are cozy. It's always a good time at Fish Lake Resort, and the best part is, you can come visit any day of the year because we are open all year, 7 days a week. Visit fishlakeresort.net today to learn more and plan your visit.
When life feels heavy, your body feels it, your mind feels it. That is why I created Organic Elements Wellness Spa, a place where wellness is not a luxury, it's a way of life. Step into our wellness lounge with a Himalayan salt room, infrared sauna, steam room, and invigorating cold plunge. Restore your nervous system, detox your body, and clear your mind. Then experience customized massage, advanced skin therapies, and result-driven facials, all designed to help you look as good as you feel. There's nothing else like this in Southern Oregon. This is your space to heal, to reset, to glow. Call today to book your private wellness party for up to 15 guests or surprise someone special with a gift certificate.
Visit Organic Elements Wellness Spa on East Main Street in Medford. Book online at organicelementsspa.com. Wellness is wholeness. Voted best of Southern Oregon. Jerry's Historical Archives. Moments to remember. Go back in time. Back in the day. TV shows of the past. Relive the past and learn something new. Open up Jerry's Historical Archives. Weekdays only on Mornings on the Dove.
Before they came to look.
Oh, good stuff. All right, good morning to you. 9 minutes before the hour on a beautiful Wednesday morning. All right, the 4th of July, 250th celebration of America's birthday.
Yeah.
Should we celebrate it or apologize for it?
We should, from the rooftops, be celebrating.
Okay, well,
Yes.
PragerU sent somebody to UCLA to ask the students.
Oh, no.
Here you go.
Okay.
Here you go.
Do you usually celebrate Independence Day?
Is that 4th of July?
Yes.
Right.
Do you know who we celebrate gaining our independence from?
It's a complicated question.
Do you know who we celebrate gaining our independence from?
Yes, Great Britain.
Yes, and you know what the year?
Shoot.
I don't know.
1864.
1776.
Yes, great. Should America celebrate Independence Day or apologize for it?
With how things have progressed in the nation, I feel like it can be a little bit hypocritical just because we're supposed to celebrate independence, but now with everything we just have going on, not everybody actually feels that independence.
I don't even care. Like, I'm ready for this thing to burn down.
Burn down in what sense?
Oh, this empire is ready to fall.
Should we celebrate Independence Day or apologize for it?
I think it should be a mix of both. Yeah, the U.S. did gain their independence in that it's like built on a country of immigrants, but I think we have to acknowledge that and like the history of mistreating a lot of immigrants in the U.S.
Like, people need holidays. Like, I think it's a good reason to have a one-day break.
I think it's great to have a celebration of independence here.
Should America celebrate Independence Day or apologize for it?
I think that they should celebrate it.
Why?
Because it represents breaking away from a monarchy that was oppressive of the people.
Why do they want to apologize for it?
Because they think this is an evil country that oppresses people and there is nothing to celebrate. This is the worst country in the world. That's what some people say.
What's cool about Independence Day is that the ability to speak freely about or against the country is part of the whole concept of why we have our independence.
Do you think America is a great country? Or is the best country in the world?
No, I do not. I think America is good, and I like the land and the people, although we do still have stuff to work on, I think.
I'm grateful for the opportunities that I've gotten myself, but I don't think we could say we're the greatest country, because a lot of people like to say that, but I just don't think that's true anymore.
So what country would you say is better than America, in your opinion?
I wouldn't be able to name a specific one. I'm not educated enough to speak on that.
Rural Portugal.
I just sometimes I complain, but I don't really feel like there's difference between two countries. I prefer not to give you this answer.
This country is the best country on earth, for sure.
Wow. I'm glad to hear. I'm glad you like it here.
Yeah, I love it. Most countries in the world, we cannot really have a conversation without fear, without the government going after you. This conversation wouldn't be possible in Cuba, Venezuela, China. We can talk, we can disagree. So I think this is a great country and we should celebrate. Why do you think so many people try to come to America, so many immigrants?
I think it's because of the American dream. I mean, I myself come from a family of immigrants, so of course there's that American dream to have more opportunities, have better chances to provide for their kids.
Americans have a lot of access to different resources, like education. I think people probably take for granted here.
What do you think? Well, it just shows that parents are paying $45,000, $50,000, $60,000 a year to get that answer.
You hit it on the nose. That's it, exactly.
You're going to go to UCLA, you're going to pay through the nose for your kid to come out with this,
Absolutely.
Oh, there you go. That's your college dollars at work.
Well, on the better side of teaching, an Iowa teacher preparing to retire after 35 years in the classroom is leaving her students with a gift they'll never forget.
Second grade teacher Kim Rolfe of Westwood Elementary spent months hand-making personalized quilts for every student in her class. Each quilt was designed around the child's unique personality and interests, from dinosaurs and sports to birthdays and favorite themes. Rolfe says quilting and teaching are two of her greatest passions, and this project was a way to share both as she closes out this chapter of her life. The students were touched by the effort. One girl said every quilt included special details that showed just how well their teacher knew them. Rolfe also wrote personal notes to each child, making the gifts even more meaningful. Now, as she says goodbye to the classroom, her students are taking home more than a quilt. They're taking home a warm reminder of a teacher who spent 35 years stitching kindness, encouragement, and love into the lives of children, one student at a time.
What a beautiful story.
Great keepsakes.
All right, take Proverbs 28 out of the Book of Knowledge. 28 verse 1, the wicked flee, though no one pursues, but the righteous are as bold as a lion. All right. We'll be right back.
Applegate River Golf and RV Resort, a pristine 9-hole course alongside the Applegate River. Their clubhouse offers a golf simulator experience. The RV resort is adjacent to the golf course with convenient pull-through parking. Applegate River Golf and RV Resort. Information at applegateRV.com. Over time, every wall tells a story, but sometimes those stories need a fresh start. At Chris Silva Painting, we specialize in transforming indoor spaces, whether it's your family home or your business workspace. With premium paints, flexible scheduling, and expert attention to detail, we make the process simple and stress-free so you can focus on what matters most, living and working in a space you love. From bold new colors to subtle tones of sophistication, let Chris Silva Painting bring your vision to life, one wall at a time. Chris and his crew are courteous. They're efficient, organized, timely, and clean. Chris Silva Painting also offers military discounts. At Chris Silva Painting, our mission statement is to bring Christ's heart and principles to our customers and our job sites. We do that with honesty, integrity, and hard work. We don't cut corners, we paint them. CCB number 176097. Chris Silva Painting, 541-890-3960. 541-890-3960.
Millions are struggling with life and their walk with God. Transformed is a groundbreaking series seen right here on the Dove TV that every week takes you behind closed doors to witness biblical counseling with real people facing real issues.
It was common to me to feel like I just wanted to escape.
It could be anxiety, depression, addictions, or other concerns. No issue is taken off the table.
To just get the pain out of my head and out of my heart.
The Bible has answers to life's problems. God's wisdom is better than man's. Lives are changed because God's hope is offered, not just treating the symptoms.
It's through the eyes of faith. Trusting what God says and being willing to obey what God says, even if it's not what you immediately feel.
Join Dr. Greg Gifford and see lives transformed from brokenness to wholeness. Mondays at 8:30 and Thursdays at 5, only on the Dove TV.
Hi, I'm Ryan Robertson, host of a brand new program on the Dove, Ministries on the Move. Ministries on the Move spotlights the incredible work of how God is using everyday people and organizations, putting their faith into action, serving the hurting, strengthening families, and sharing the hope of the gospel in practical ways. Be inspired and discover these Ministries on the Move. Tuesdays and Thursdays at 4 p.m., right here on the Dove TV. Encouraging and informative. More at thedove.us.
You're watching the Dove TV, encouraging and informative for Santa Rosa and the wine country. Seen on KUKR 27 and these Dove TV affiliates. Good morning. You're tuned to the Dove, encouraging and informative. Helping Oregon, Northern California, Idaho, and Nevada start the day with news and encouragement. This is Mornings on the Dove.
And good morning to you. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Mornings on the Dove, better known as Nerve Central, right here.
Yeah.
We touch all the nerves.
Oh, boy. Yeah, that doesn't always feel good.
No.
We touch them.
No, but our job is to poke your nerves. Okay. And sometimes we do pretty good at it.
Yeah, we get no nerve damage out there.
No nerve damage.
Yeah.
Good morning to you. Happy Wednesday. A lot going on in the news. There always is. We'll do our best. There was an election last night, a primary in California.
Yeah.
Only California can drag a primary out, mess it up to begin with, and then drag it out forever.
Yes.
But there are some results. We'll share that with you coming up in a few moments.
Right.
The weather, kind of interesting. Got some clouds, but the sun is starting to poke through.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of muggy this morning.
Yeah, pretty warm. Yep.
Yeah, so here we go.
All right.
And Jerry's here. That's amazing. It's just amazing.
I'm still here.
You know, what's interesting is, folks, you need to know this.
Okay.
So we come in early, you know.
Yeah.
Here comes Jerry in crutches. And you haven't been using crutches for how long?
It's been a while. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm in a fracture boot, but yeah, I haven't been using crutches.
All right, so you come in with crutches this morning.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You were driving your truck, which requires...
It's a 6-speed manual.
See? And you're coming in with crutches. What am I supposed to think?
Be careful if you see me coming down the road. Here's the deal.
Does your son, the sheriff, know you're driving like this?
Yeah, here's what he told me.
Yeah.
You know, especially after my surgery, you know, he says, here's the deal. Because I was driving our car, you know, which is an automatic.
Yeah.
And I couldn't drive it with my fracture boot on because it's too wide. So if I hit the accelerator, it hits the brake at the same time. It doesn't work. So I'd have to drape my leg with the fracture boot over the console and drive with my left foot.
And you actually did that.
And he said, Dad, if any of my guys pull you over, they'll be okay with the left foot driving, but you better not be on pain medication. I said, okay.
Yeah, but when you go to jail, you'll be on pain medication. You get a ticket, you'll be on pain medication.
Said, don't do that. And I said, okay. But I could drive the truck because the pedals are spaced so far apart. I can even though I can't rock my ankle, you know, it's got like a roller sole on it. I can do it. You know, I can drive that thing.
You know, I'm going to call your doctor and say, give him pain meds, but give him psychological things. There's got to be a pill that you can take that psychologically calms you down.
Pam is saying, amen.
Yeah.
Harry, yes,
yeah.
Amen.
Yeah, you need some psycho pills.
Oh, gosh. But you know what?
Hey, Doug, you got any psycho pills that we can give to an addict? This guy right here.
You know, somebody asked me, because, you know, we're getting ready for another surgery, and they said, do you have pain with this? Like, only when I step on it.
Yeah.
It's only, come on.
All right.
Anyway.
Only when I use my leg.
Exactly, yeah. But anyway, it is National CPR and AED Awareness Week, which is Automated External Defibrillator.
You may need that when Pam gets done with you.
And when I think of a defibrillator, I think of clear.
Yeah, there you go.
Get up, get up.
Yeah.
All right. Also, National Play Catch Week. It's a wonderful thing. Play catch with your kids. You know what I think of? I remember seeing video of George H.W. Bush playing catch with his kids. One of which was a future president.
Yes.
And they're all ball players in that family.
Mm-hmm.
And George H.W., he was the starting first baseman for Yale.
Yes.
When he was in college. Mm-hmm. And it showed them playing catch and stuff. And H.W. was really good. They would throw it, and he'd catch it behind his back, and then he'd throw it back to them. And, oh, it was wonderful. But if you have, you know, maybe you think back to when you played catch with your kids, it's a wonderful memory.
Yeah.
And the nice thing is they give you kids, too, and then you can play catch with your grandkids.
There you go.
I love it. Anyway.
The Bushes still have is it Kitty Bunk or...
Kenny Bunkport?
Yeah.
I wonder.
And I know that George H. liked driving his fast boat.
Yes. And I always liked it and that was the Eastern Seaboard White House for George H.W. Bush.
It was.
Yes.
And of course, you have the Kennedy compound just up from there.
Right. And they're all good friends, aren't they?
Oh, they're buds.
Yeah.
But I was just wondering, because that little place that they had for the Bushes, I thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was. And I always liked it when Marine One would land near the house there when he was going on his little sabbaticals or whatever. And the press corps would be at an angle, and they would see him coming out of the helicopter, and then he'd walk toward the house. And I saw all these kids' toys everywhere because of his grandkids.
Yeah, and Millie running around.
And Millie, who got her own book. She was a bestseller, wasn't she?
Yeah.
All right. It's National Repeat Day, so play catch and repeat.
All right.
Whatever it may be. It's also...
Repeat eating pie?
yeah, we can do that. We got a conflict going on here because it's not on our list. We have eggs on our list today. You know, nutrient-rich, high cholesterol, whatever. Be careful with it. It's good for you, but
nobody told me the difference between, is there a nutritional difference or a taste difference between a white egg and a brown egg?
Does anybody know this? I don't know.
And every once in a while you get a green egg or a blue egg.
Oh, well, that's okay as long as it's not coming out that color.
Well, you never know.
I've done that too.
Yeah.
Anyway, but does anybody know, are there differences in the nutritional values in different colored eggs? I don't know. It's also one last thing to eat here. It's for dessert, National Chocolate Macaroon Day. Ooh. And the macaroon originates from Italy, and it means paste. When macaroons were first created, it was common practice to make them with almond flour, which is cheaper than coconuts. Eventually, shredded coconut replaced the almond flour, and because it didn't contain any flour, the Jewish community in Italy ate them as treats during Passover, and these cookies are are now a traditional Passover treat in Jewish households throughout the world. So, and, you know, drizzle a little chocolate on there. You got your chocolate macaroons, but it's pretty basic. That thing that we just saw was macaroons with 3 ingredients.
Well, I like macaroons. You know, they used to be one of the favorites for the Girl Scout cookies.
That's right.
And they actually had chocolate on them.
Yeah.
But I don't know, the Girl Scouts and the Boy Scouts are just now Scouts? Isn't that what it is? Didn't they blend them together or something like that?
And now, at least there are some Christian organizations who have put together their own scouting programs to keep the, you know, the tradition of scouting and what it was. You know that little thing, boys and girls? Yeah. So anyway, enjoy your macaroons.
Macaroons.
Yeah.
All right, here's a guy that lays an egg every time he does the weather.
A look at our forecast from Grange Co-op. Today in northern Oregon and southern Washington, Vancouver and Portland turn partly sunny with decreasing clouds and highs near 75. Wilsonville reaches 76 under decreasing clouds, while McMinnville stays partly sunny and near 72. Continuing through the Willamette Valley, decreasing clouds and highs in the low to mid-70s for Salem, Albany, and Eugene. Corvallis stays mostly cloudy and near 72 with overnight lows down around 50. Central Oregon keeps mostly cloudy skies from Prineville to Bend with gradual clearing in Sun River later in the day. Highs range from 71 to 73, while Boise sees increasing clouds with a high near 90. Along the Oregon coast, mostly cloudy and near 63 in Coos Bay. A slight chance of showers in near 63 in Port Orford. Decreasing clouds in mid-50s in Brookings and patchy fog, then partly sunny in 58 in Crescent City, California. In southern Oregon, Grants Pass and Medford see decreasing clouds becoming sunny with highs around 80. Ashland stays mostly clear near 76, gradually becoming sunny in Klamath Falls in mid-70s. Northern California turns sunny through the afternoon with highs near 81 in Wairika, 92 in Redding, and 94 in Chico. Fort Bragg sees decreasing clouds becoming sunny with a high near 59. Around the Bay Area, Santa Rosa becomes sunny with a high near 89. Napa sees patchy fog, then clearing with a high near 87, while San Francisco and San Jose become sunny with highs in the mid-70s to low 80s. Across Central California, Sacramento and Stockton through Modesto become sunny with highs in the low 90s. Fresno through Visalia and Tulare reach mid-90s under sunny skies, and Bakersfield stays mostly sunny with a high near 96. It's a snapshot of your Wednesday weather from Grange Co-op.
All right, beautiful shot of our valley. The cloud cover is starting to break up.
Yeah.
And let the sun shine through.
Yeah.
Those shadows out there kind of pretty this morning.
Mm-hmm. Well, here is some great encouragement. Johnny Erickson Tyler, looking at the power of your testimony and how it increases when you choose to trust God in your suffering.
Recently, a 17-year-old girl who is losing her battle against a very painful cancer came to meet with me. And when she entered my office, I was expecting a very sad teenager, but instead, this 17-year-old with a terminal cancer was singing. She was singing, she was delighting in God, she was rejoicing in His grace. And that right there just lifted her testimony way up and over the high bar. It blessed me. It so encouraged me. It strengthened me. And sitting there in my wheelchair, it made me rejoice in my own suffering. My faith was infused with joy and peace and power simply in hearing this girl with all her afflictions singing praises to God. Now, it wasn't just a matter of, inspiration. No, something was going on there that was far more powerful. 1 Corinthians 15, verse 57 says, "Thanks be to God, He gives us victory over sin through our Lord Jesus Christ." And that isn't just an individual victory, but a corporate reality for all believers. The victory of Jesus Christ is a shared inheritance. When one person experiences it, it reinforces that same victory in the lives of their Christian brothers and sisters. Powerful things happen to others when the joy of the Lord rises up out of your brokenness. Sharing your joy when you hurt, every Christian friend around you who rejoices with you is empowered to share in your victory. because it's Christ's victory. Every onlooker can feel their own faith increase because you are showing everyone that God is worth trusting, even in great suffering. Yes, even in cancer, even terminal cancer. When joy wells up within a human soul who is hurting, people notice, and other Christians are lifted to a higher level, a higher degree of faith. Your witness ripples through the hearts of all who see you. Just like I was awestruck by the glory of God in the smile and in the song of that girl with cancer. And I couldn't help but sing along with her. Remember, the power of your testimony increases in algebraic proportions when you choose to trust God in your suffering.
Where would we be in getting perspective of life without a Johnny Erickson Tada?
I don't know, and she is absolutely right, on the money. My goodness. I don't know if you've ever had it happen to you, but I have had it rub off on me, where you see somebody who you know is in great pain because of recent hard loss, and they're expressing great love and admiration and celebrating, singing praises to God. It definitely affects you.
Amazing. All right, let's take a look at some of the top stories for today. And of course, the big story is what happened in California yesterday at their primary. And you got to remember, this is going to linger on for a couple of more weeks as ballots continue to come in. But one of the big ones is the Los Angeles mayor's race. Everywhere I looked in following the story late last night and then early this morning had saying, well, Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass now advances to November. Well, here's the problem. She didn't get 51%. Yeah. She only got 35%. And Pratt got 30%. So they got to go all the way now to November.
A little runoff coming up.
A runoff coming off. Yep. So anyway, he did very well considering. So the fact that they couldn't get 51%, she's not even close. At 35%.
Yeah, right.
It tells me this race is wide open.
Yes.
Okay, the other one is the race for the governorship there. And yes, Steve Hilton and Mr. Becerra, excuse me, they will head for a runoff. They are the two out of all the candidates running for governor. Hilton and Becerra will run off, and Hilton is ahead by a little over 2 points, 27.8 to 25.4. And they will head to November's runoff. And so I think this race can get a little nasty at the end.
Oh, yeah.
But you got to remember who was in this race and who ended up on the ticket. These two, so which is kind of interesting because he kind of came out of nowhere. You got to remember there were other candidates on the Democratic side that were heading down there, and then of course you had one get out because of scandal and all this stuff. So those are the two, but the numbers are not big. 27.8% for Hilton. 25.4% for Becerra, and it looks like they have another 2 weeks of vote counting.
Oh, gosh.
And they already found ballots burned in a box or burned in a can somewhere.
Are we going to hear more of these stories in the next couple weeks?
Well, look, it's California.
Yeah.
Their whole primary system is now blowing up in their face.
Yeah. Well, it seems to be, but I long for the old days where you used to go to a place, and you would actually fill out a ballot, put it in, and they would count it by hand, and they actually would get you the results tonight.
Yeah.
Remember those days?
Yeah, you had to stand in line.
Yeah, yes.
You had to prove that you were a human.
Right. Yes.
Okay, and that you were a citizen.
Alive and kicking.
Okay.
Yeah.
You voted.
Yeah.
Then you got a macaroon and you went out.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, the new secretary of DHS, the chief there, Mark Wayne Mullen, as you remember, he was a senator. Now he takes over, and he is now running the Department of Homeland Security and everything else. Well, he goes before the Senate, and he's being drilled by the Senate. And I guess Senator Murphy came after him and just accused him of everything.
Yeah.
And here is, right after Senator Murphy lambases the chief Mullen with all of these so-called accusations against his department. Here's his response.
Wow. Senator Murphy, the outlandish claims you made there is just flat wrong. You start saying we're breaking the law, and you really start looking at it, and we're enforcing the laws that Congress did pass. That's reckless. When you start saying it's unconstitutional, what's unconstitutional that we're doing? We swore to uphold the Constitution, just like you swore to uphold the Constitution. For you to throw my 275,000 employees underneath DHS and with a broad stroke like that is reckless and irresponsible on your part. We're doing the job that Congress gave us the authority to do. And our men and women out there every single day is enforcing the laws. If you don't like the laws, you can change them. We're not picking and choosing which laws we enforce. We're simply enforcing the law, period, full stop. When you throw out reckless terms and you start referring to our agents as being dangerous, unconstitutional, and lawless, that's why our agents' death threats are up by 8,000%. I know that's not what you want, but your political theater, that's what it causes. When you start looking at assaults on our officers, they're up by 1,300%. Senator Murphy, is that what you want? I don't think it is. I really don't. But I understand the political theater. I understand wanting to get sound bites. And that was obvious because the whole time you was giving your testimony, he wasn't looking at me, he was looking at a camera. I get that. I get it. If you have bigger political ambitions, fine, just say it. But don't do it at the expense of my officers. When you want to really talk about funding, you haven't funded my officers. CBP and ICE has been willing to do the job for free. Why? Because of a reckless administration. Prior to President Trump coming in and saving America, you had a reckless administration that was destroying America by letting millions of illegals into our country. We're a nation of laws, and we're going to enforce those laws. What separates us from other countries is because people respect the rule of law. There's a reason why people are flooding to our country and not flooding to leave.
Well, look, this was a calm, cool, collective takedown.
Exactly.
And what the left does is throw all these things out there, hoping some of it stick. Well, then all of a sudden they run into people that are a little bit more mature and calm and organized than they are, and returns it to them.
Right.
The same thing happened yesterday on Capitol Hill with Secretary Marco Rubio being attacked by, I'm trying to think of his name, Senator. Anyway, they got into it, and Secretary Marco Rubio responded with facts.
Right, and he's really good at that, and keeping his cool.
Yeah.
Like this example here.
Yeah.
I'm tired of those confrontations where they're trying to yell over each other.
Right.
And again, he made a good point. Oftentimes, just playing for the camera.
Well, what was interesting about that is that Senator Murphy didn't talk over him.
Right. I was really surprised.
Because he has done that before to other people.
Yes.
But when you're being taken down, what do you do?
Yeah, how do you defend that?
Yeah.
Right.
So anyway, interesting stuff. Then the other story that has popped up is, you remember there was this anti-weaponization fund that the administration put out. And basically this is $1 billion of weaponizing fund to help people who have been victims of lawfare.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Governor Newsom said, if you received any of this money in California, we're going to tax it 100%. Well, in the meantime, this isn't going over well because it's being seen as a tit for tat, so it's to be at the government expense. So the Republicans are going to propose pulling this fund entirely, okay? Because what's more important is take that money and give it to ICE. And give it to DHS. Right. So it looks like, this is a little bit hat in hand for the Republicans. It meant well. I think it was named wrong, and it was distributed wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. But its intent was to fight back those who have been innocently marked by a previous administration.
Right, and legacy news media just is beside themselves. They can't even understand what this is about because they can't even imagine that the Biden administration would weaponize the DOJ and the justice system, and they did.
There's one other quick story. I'll just throw it out here. Did you know that Pele got canned at CBS?
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
And here he is. He's one of the top guys on 60 Minutes for all these years.
Yeah.
And but he went after the new producer and said, she's just Weiss, I think her name is.
Yeah.
And he went after her and said, you're just ruining the show. Well, he walked into their office and he got canned.
He got canned, rightly so. And you know what? I think it was a stunt. I think he was, instead of retiring, he decided, I'm going to make a statement.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been there a long time. I don't know. He's, what his age is? I think he's in the 60s. I think he threw in the towel himself and he forced their hand.
Yeah, well, it's look, the show's gone downhill, and you got to ask yourself what's going on, because it used to be the go-to place.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and he wasn't bad. Scott Kelly wasn't bad. He was a good. I mean, he had his biases, obviously.
Yeah.
But when you take these guys that are really the image of the show, and you start trying to manage them out the door, you know, it's the old trick. How do you get rid of your competition? You hire them and then fire them.
Oh, that's really good. That's a new one for me.
No, it's done in the industry all the time.
That's a great one. I love that.
Yeah, you hire your competition away, then you fire them. Okay.
Wow.
And then the other one is in companies. You know, how do you get rid of your competitor? You buy them out and then close it down. I mean, that's what they call it, mergers.
That is
mergers.
brutal.
No, it's just here's how we get rid of you. We buy you out and tell you to go away.
Wow.
Not so with apple pie. We'll be right back.
Since 1934, Grange Co-op has been more than just a store. We've been a cornerstone of our community, owned by people like you. We proudly offer top-quality farm and ranch supplies, including our own Rogue feed, as well as workwear, Western apparel, garden essentials, and pet care products. By signing up as a Grange Rewards customer, you not only enjoy exclusive benefits like special offers and 1% back on most purchases, but you also become part of something bigger, a cooperative that you own and help shape. Join Grange Rewards today.
In a world desperately seeking truth, Cliff Connectley and his son Stuart travel across the U.S. to give an answer for questions, doubts, and challenges concerning faith.
What is the evidence that Muhammad spoke the truth? What is the evidence that Jesus Christ spoke the truth?
Their mission is to ignite a passion for truth, guide individuals to embrace faith, and help people find purpose, engaging skeptics.
It kind of sounds like then that God punished us. The vast majority of chaos in nature is a direct result of God stepping back.
They're driven by a deep commitment for spreading the message of Christ to a world who needs it.
But you see, what Satan has done is he's put doubt in our mind.
Join them as they strive to make a lasting impact on lives and hearts, sharing the love of Jesus with an unwavering dedication.
Because God loves you, and God has given you gifts.
Watch Give Me an Answer, weekdays at 3 on the Dove TV.
He's got the whole world in his hands, and he knows the plans for us. Above and beyond we could ask or imagine, his grace is more than enough. It's in his hands, it's in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. Come on, Steve.
25 minutes past the hour. Well, welcome back to Nerve Central, right here. Do we make you nervous? Make ourselves nervous.
Yeah.
Little backyard news. Our governor, as you know, she's moving on now towards the fall election for re-election. She'll be up against Christine Drazan, and I think Oregon has the same chance as California. We have a chance of getting rid of some of this blue streak stuff. Anyway, she's really, unfortunately, really has mishandled a lot of things. So if you remember, the whole argument in the state of Oregon was over a $350 million budget shortfall in the ODOT, Oregon Department of Transportation. Okay, well, that turns into a special session that turns into a $15 billion tax hike that got whittled down to 4.3 to fix a $350 million problem. Citizens rose up with a referendum and said, no way. And then she tried to gerrymander that and move it from the November election to the May election, and the citizens showed up across every county. Yeah. Every county voted this down. Yeah. All 36 counties voted it down. So in the meantime, supposedly they fixed the problem inside ODOT, but maybe not really, because now, yesterday, she's moving her chief of staff, Chris Warner, over to become the head of ODOT.
Oh, no.
So what did that tell you?
Yeah.
So it also tells me she's positioning herself for some kind of a remessaging between now and November.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she's trying to get the ODOT thing away from her.
Yeah. Well,
and
well, she's doing maneuvers like that for the coming election too, because we saw it with the the business move that she made, trying to say we're going to warm up to businesses. We're not going to be seen as pushing them out. So she put together that little.
She put together a commission headed up by Tim Knopp, who was a former state senator from Bend, Republican. And you heard nothing from it.
Yeah, what are they doing?
In fact, they didn't even show up in the campaign for the midterm.
Really? Oh.
You would think that if there was something really good happening there, that she would have waved that flag during the campaign.
Yeah, right.
Nothing. So anyway, this kind of stuff just makes you want to go, okay, you know it's a different day when you read stuff like this. When my wife says, I think I'm going to run.
I'll vote for her.
I said, honey, what happened here? Okay, we got to get you some more coffee. All right, this is in your backyard. You guys are going to have a fun time at your church Saturday night.
Yes.
You got Jerry Minor coming.
Yeah.
How did you guys do that?
I don't know. I don't know how these folks do this stuff, but Jerry Minor's coming. He's a very funny man, Christian comedian. You can laugh at and bring the kids too. It's wonderful. And then a great band, The River, is going to be playing as well. They're opening up. And what time is everything going over there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometime on Saturday.
Saturday in the evening.
But anyway, there's tickets involved, $15 a person. I guess there's a family discount of 4 or more. And check it out. It's going to be there at your amphitheater, your what do you call that?
In the back. It's a pavilion.
Pavilion.
Yes, and it's beautiful back there.
Yeah.
What a great place. We do summer church out there sometimes.
Yeah.
And great facilities, an outdoor kitchen and stuff, so good eatings and stuff. But it's a great place for a concert, and the weather's going to be good.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. And it says bring your blanket and lawn chairs and come on out. So if you want to have a fun evening of just laughing, and every once in a while we need some belly laughing, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Well, Jerry Minor's the guy to make that happen for you.
Let's see if there's any times in here. I'm looking. Okay, doors open at 4:45.
Yeah.
And you can even talk to. Little Jerry Minor's going to be in the crowd. So yeah, 4:45 stuff starts to happen at Trail Christian Fellowship. Good music, good laughs, and good time for all.
Usually there are opening acts before the main act.
Yeah.
So they're going to have
The River, yep.
Okay, but usually, like, if you have a singer, you have an up-and-coming singer before the singer comes out.
Right.
So who would be a comedian before you put up before a comedian?
That's a great question.
I have an idea.
Who?
Put you and I up there.
Well, there goes the show. Oh, man.
Let's do 20 minutes of Mornings on the Dove before he comes out.
We're going to take this show on the road?
Well, the road on the show.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, wow.
All right, let's take a look at Wall Street this morning on this Wednesday. That is a joke. Anyway. Preston isn't. He has smart lawn. He's not a joke. He's a smart guy. Anyway, the Dow's off this morning. They don't like this bickering going on. 250 points down. The Nas is off 147, and the S&P down 28 and a third or so. So red ink this morning. That has taken gold down with it. 44.74. Silver is down to about $74, and crude oil's up $1, but still down. $88.19 a barrel. Not bad.
All right. Well, here, retired U.S. Navy SEAL Mike Sorrell talked about the Overwatch mission's critical launching of Anchors of Hope, an initiative for veterans. He did this on Varney & Company.
D-Day to Veterans Day. We run this every year. We are a veteran-owned, veteran-led company, and we are the largest leading supplier of labor to the build, delivery, operations of data centers. And we call ourselves a paramilitary company. The culture reflects it. People love it. We have a 4.9 on Glassdoor and Indeed. We're all about our culture, and we know culture eats strategy for breakfast. stealing from Peter Drucker there.
But you're funneling workers to the data center.
We are.
Industry.
But this is a call to action to any American company in any industry, small to enterprise level. We know that post-World War II, 1 out of 2 veterans started companies. The modern economy we know today is much due to the greatest generation. The people that come out of the military are phenomenal leaders. They have these attributes, they have these principles, they're consummate team players. These are the type of men and women that CEOs and managers want. They're unflappable. They are mission critical in how they think. They can deal with chaos and ambiguity, and we have just lost the ball. Could you imagine a world, we often talk about recruiting, in which our youth saw our veterans leave the military and step into successful private sector careers? More youth would want to join the military. And we as a nation have failed, so we need every company to contact us at weareoverwatch.com. Take the pledge, even if it's 1 veteran hire over that period. Let's help these veterans out. Let's give them an opportunity to engage in free enterprise, the very thing they defended with their lives.
Outstanding.
Yeah, there's a company right next door here. Their parent company only hired retiring officers from the military to lead their various branches.
Wow.
Why? They're disciplined.
Sure.
They get the job done.
You put it well there, yeah. Yep.
So, good.
Yeah.
All right, at ease, man. We'll be right back.
Your yard is where life happens, but it can be muddy and hard to maintain. Enjoy a maintenance-free artificial turf lawn all year round with Smart Lawn LLC. No mowing, no fertilizing, no watering. Our synthetic grass is beautiful and resilient. It's certified to be lead-free, and there's no need for pesticides. Safe for your children and pets. Smart Lawn LLC has all your artificial turf and putting green areas covered beautifully. 541-941-3538.
Come fall in love with Northridge Senior Living, where contemporary, sunlit interiors meet old world elegance. Walk through our lovely hallways and enjoy the fun staff-led activities. Forge lasting friendships with other residents and our exceptional caregivers. Dine in style. Gather near the fireplace under breathtaking chandeliers. Our reasonably priced apartments are spacious with private balconies. Northridge is Christian-owned and operated, pet-friendly, and only 2 blocks from Asante Rogue Regional Medical Center. On-site, in-home care is available. We also offer senior adult daycare, where your loved one can spend the day with us and the evenings with you. Northridge Senior Living. Your home.
Welcome back on this chocolate macaroon day.
Yeah, what a day.
What a day. All right, well, listen, there is great concern. Did the president and the prime minister have a heated exchange or not?
That's a great question.
Who do you trust on this?
I don't know.
I don't know. But in the meantime, the U.S. and Iran continue to exchange ceasefire fires.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Yeah, so let's check in with Joshua Swanson at CBN News and get caught up.
Iranian drones struck Kuwait's airport today, doing heavy damage and killing at least 1 person. It's the latest in a series of back-and-forth strikes between Iranian and U.S. forces. Earlier, missile and drone attacks by Iran did no damage, as some broke apart in midair and others were intercepted by air defenses. The U.S. responded with a strike on an Iranian ground control station on Qasem Island in the Strait of Hormuz. Iran's Revolutionary Guard says the attacks are retaliation for the U.S. blockade of Iranian ships. This comes as Iranian state TV claims Tehran has cut off communication with mediators seeking to extend a ceasefire with the United States and Israel. President Trump says the talks are continuing. Yet even amid the fighting, there are signs of hope for a breakthrough. Testifying before the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, Secretary of State Marco Rubio said Iran has shown a new willingness to discuss its nuclear program.
For the first time, certainly in my memory, they have agreed to negotiate aspects of their nuclear program that just a month ago, or just a year ago, they were refusing to even mention, much less enter into discussions about.
Rubio also emphasized that sanctions relief remains tied to major concessions from Tehran regarding its nuclear activities. When asked whether Iran could receive sanctions relief simply for reopening the Strait of Hormuz, Rubio responded definitively.
No, that's not been discussed, that's not been offered.
In Israel, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu offered his assessment of the pressure facing the Iranian regime.
The foundations of this regime of terror in Iran has been cracked. It will not return to being what it was, and I tell you, it will fall in the end.
In Washington, representatives from Israel and Lebanon have begun a new round of direct talks. The discussions follow statements from President Donald Trump that both Jerusalem and Hezbollah had made commitments toward de-escalation. The talks mark the latest effort to stop an ever-broadening regional conflict on Israel's northern border.
And Joshua joins us now with more. So what is the view in Israel of the ongoing exchange of fire between the United States and Iran? And what does the first Israeli government think about the possibility of a workable agreement with Iran?
Well, hey, Ephraim, there's broad support here for the United States responding forcefully to Iran. Most Israelis want to go back in and just finish the job. Israeli leaders don't see this violation, this attack overnight, this violation of the ceasefire, the attack on Kuwait and the other Gulf nations. It's not an isolated flare-up. It's a part of a decades-long struggle against a regime that has openly called for Israel's destruction and tried to bully the rest of their neighbors. And bear in mind, Iran continues funding and arming proxy groups, Hezbollah, the Houthis. So the last exchanges have only reinforced the view here that Iran remains the greatest threat to any lasting peace in the Middle East. So also, Israelis point to the lessons of the past, right? The JCPOA nuclear deal provided Iran with significant sanctions relief and buckets of money that ultimately helped strengthen Tehran's regional power through its proxy network again. So there's deep skepticism here in Jerusalem about returning to any sort of agreement that doesn't really fundamentally dismantle Iran's nuclear ambitions, their missile programs, and their constant support for the terrorist organizations in the region.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he believes the Iranian regime will fall. Is the sense there in Israel it will take more military action to ultimately bring them down and make that happen?
Yes. More military action is seen really by most here as the next step. But most Israelis understand that lasting regime change cannot come from military force alone. Ultimately, it has to come from the Iranian people themselves. So step one, another military campaign, but that comes at a cost. There's a tremendous love and respect here for the courageous Iranians who've risked their lives and in many cases lost their lives, standing up to this evil regime that's oppressed them for so many decades. I mean, some estimates are north of 40,000 people, which is the population of Beverly Hills, who've lost their lives protesting in the streets. And Israelis see a distinction between the Iranian people and the Iranian regime. And there's a genuine hope that one day that historic friendship between the two peoples, the Persians and the Jews, can be restored. And on the political front, the prime minister has repeatedly argued that the regime is weaker now than it appears, weaker than it's ever been. Many saying that this is a strategic argument. He's really trying to embolden the U.S. and the Persian Gulf states to go back in. He's putting pressure on them. Now he's saying combine that with economic pressure and an internal uprising, and we could see the toppling of the Islamic regime.
What can you tell us about the possibility of an agreement between Israel and Lebanon?
Yeah, this is one of the most intriguing diplomatic developments in our region right now. For the first time in decades, there are direct contacts between Israel and Lebanon. and they're pushing proposals. The U.S. is leading and pushing proposals to stop the fighting. And the negotiations this week, even President Trump got into the mix, fielding calls with the prime minister and then through intermediaries, calls with the leadership of Hezbollah. And he's pressing for a framework that could move the two sides to a more stable future. Now, of course, the biggest obstacle still remains Hezbollah. They do not recognize Israel's right to exist. They do not recognize these negotiations as having anything to do with them. They've all but disowned the Lebanese government as irrelevant. And Israel has made it clear to the Lebanese government any lasting agreement has to address Hezbollah's issue, the military presence, their ability to launch attacks across the border into northern Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the art of the deal?
Yeah, oh, boy, this is testing it.
It is.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, he makes deals all the time. Maybe he's not very artful at it, but he does the weather here.
A look at our forecast from Grange Co-op. Today in northern Oregon and southern Washington, Vancouver and Portland turn partly sunny with decreasing clouds and highs near 75. Wilsonville reaches 76 under decreasing clouds, while McMinnville stays partly sunny and near 72. Continuing through the Willamette Valley, decreasing clouds and highs in the low to mid-70s for Salem, Albany, and Eugene. Corvallis stays mostly cloudy and near 72 with overnight lows down around 50. Central Oregon keeps mostly cloudy skies from Prineville to Bend with gradual clearing in Sun River later in the day. Highs range from 71 to 73, while Boise sees increasing clouds with a high near 90. Along the Oregon coast, mostly cloudy and near 63 in Coos Bay. A slight chance of showers and near 63 in Port Orford. Decreasing clouds in mid-50s in Brookings and patchy fog, then partly sunny and 58 in Crescent City, California. In southern Oregon, Grants Pass and Medford see decreasing clouds becoming sunny with highs around 80. Ashland stays mostly clear near 76, gradually becoming sunny in Klamath Falls in mid-70s. Northern California turns sunny through the afternoon with highs near 81 in Wairika, 92 in Redding, and 94 in Chico. Fort Bragg sees decreasing clouds becoming sunny with a high near 59. Around the Bay Area, Santa Rosa becomes sunny with a high near 89. Napa sees patchy fog, then clearing with a high near 87, while San Francisco and San Jose become sunny with highs in the mid-70s to low 80s. Across central California, Sacramento and Stockton through Modesto become sunny with highs in the low 90s. Fresno through Visalia and Tulare reach mid-90s under sunny skies, and Bakersfield stays mostly sunny with a high near 96. It's a snapshot of your Wednesday weather from Grange Co-op.
Oh, yeah, June the 3rd, and looking all the way back on this day in 2017 when rock climber Alex Honnold accomplished what many experts thought was virtually impossible. Look at this.
Honnold became the first person ever to free solo climb El Capitan in California's Yosemite National Park, scaling the 3,000-foot granite wall completely alone without ropes, harnesses, or safety equipment. The climb took just under 4 hours, but it was the result of years of preparation. Honnold had memorized thousands of handholds and footholds, knowing that a single mistake could be fatal. One of the most difficult sections, known as the boulder problem, required him to make a series of precise moves nearly 2,000 feet above the ground. The achievement stunned the climbing world and became the subject of the documentary film Free Solo, which went on to win the Academy Award for Best Documentary. Even today, Honnold's climb is widely considered one of the greatest athletic feats ever accomplished, proving that sometimes the biggest obstacles are conquered one careful step at a time.
Isn't that amazing?
Chills looking at it.
Not even room for even a tiny mistake. Oh my goodness. Good stuff. I watched him climb a tower in Taipei recently. Obviously, he has found a way to monetize his climbing abilities. But, I mean, there was literally hundreds of thousands of people on the street watching him. And he would get up to a level, and he'd go to the edge, you know, making you a little bit lightheaded and stuff. And he'd wave at the crowd, and they're cheering like crazy. I thought, this is amazing.
Other than getting to the top, going up, did he ever look back?
Yeah, I wonder. You look down past your toe and say, ooh. And again, a good reason why God gave us toes and fingers. He's shown right there.
All right, the fear of the Lord. This is a subject that comes up. Is it reverence or is it actual fear? Is it respect? Okay, what is it? Our friends at Crossway tackle this.
When we think about the fear of God, what are we talking about? So we're talking about a love for God as Father and as our friend, but we're also talking about a sorrow for sin. So there is this sort of like loving, reverent posture is sort of what we're trying to get at. And so what Scripture does is Scripture provides us warnings that evoke fear in us. Scripture provides sort of promises that when God keeps these promises, what that does is it prompts us to actually revere and lovingly revere God. But Scripture is also the means through which God makes us into the kinds of new creation people who will love God from the bottom of our hearts and will be sorrowful for sin. And so there's a writer who was involved in the sort of framing of the Heidelberg Catechism, and he talks about how the fear of God is birthed in those who are regenerate or regenerate in this life, is the way that he frames it, right? And so when we think about the Word is God's instrument to make us born again, have new birth, to be regenerate. And when we're regenerate through the Word, we actually will grow in our love and fear for God. The fear of God is a gift in that the fear of God is a gateway to God's other gifts, right? So the fear of God is the means through which we gain wisdom and understanding according to Proverbs. The fear of God leads to life. The fear of God leads to blessedness. So the fear of God is a gift in and of itself. The fear of God is a gift also in the fact that it's not something that we can sort of engender on our own. And so because God is the only one who can bring about the new birth that creates this sort of love for him and a sorrow for sin, in that sense, the fear of God can only be seen as primarily a gift from God himself.
All right. Well said.
Good way to see it. All right, we'll take a quick, he ate the whole apple pie. We'll be right back.
You make everything glorious. You make everything glorious. And I am yours.
The Lennox iComfort S30 thermostat can sense changes in your environment. It even knows when you come and go. So now your home's most important system is also the smartest.
Metal Masters can give you the smartest home comfort system available. It knows when you're away and adjusts when allergens and humidity get uncomfortable. Trust Metal Masters to provide perfect air for your family.
Lennox. Air is life. Make it perfect. Jerry's Historical Archives. U.S. history. Great moments in time. Record breakers. Our music through the years. Historic leaders. Moments to remember. Go back in time. Back in the day. TV shows of the past. Nostalgia.
It's a wonderful trip down memory lane with fun and interesting stories you might not know about. Relive the past and learn something new.
Open up Jerry's Historical Archives. Weekdays only on Mornings on the Dove.
If you don't drive it, donate it. By supporting us, you'll get even more mileage out of it.
Thank you from the Dove TV.
Hi, good morning to you. 10 minutes before the hour, and we are fast approaching July 4th, the 250th birthday of the United States. Yahoo! But PragerU sends some guys to the UCLA campus to see whether or not our 250th birthday is worth celebrating, or should we apologize for it. All right, this is your college education dollars at work. Here you go.
Do you usually celebrate Independence Day?
Is that 4th of July?
Yes.
Right.
Do you know who we celebrate gaining our independence from?
It's a complicated question.
Do you know who we celebrate gaining our independence from?
Yes, Great Britain.
Yes, and you know what the year?
Shoot.
I don't know, 1864?
1776?
Yes, great. Should America celebrate Independence Day or apologize for it?
With how things have progressed in the nation, I feel like it can be a little bit hypocritical just because we're supposed to celebrate independence, but now with everything we just have going on, not everybody actually feels that independence.
I don't even care. Like, I'm ready for this thing to burn down.
Burn down in what sense?
Oh, this empire is ready to fall.
Should we celebrate Independence Day or apologize for it?
I think it should be a mix of both. Yeah, the U.S. did gain their independence in that it's like built on a country of immigrants, but I think we have to acknowledge that and like the history of mistreating a lot of immigrants in the U.S.
Like, people need holidays. Like, I think it's a good reason to have a one-day break.
I think it's great to have a celebration of independence here.
Should America celebrate Independence Day or apologize for it?
I think that they should celebrate it.
Why?
Because it represents breaking away from a monarchy that was oppressive of the people.
Why do they want to apologize for it?
Because they think this is an evil country that oppresses people and there is nothing to celebrate. This is the worst country in the world. That's what some people say.
What's cool about Independence Day is that the ability to speak freely about or against the country is part of the whole concept of why we have our independence.
Do you think America is a great country? Or is the best country in the world?
No, I do not.
I think America is good, and I like the land and the people, although we do still have stuff to work on, I think.
I'm grateful for the opportunities that I've gotten myself, but I don't think we could say we're the greatest country, because a lot of people like to say that, but I just don't think that's true anymore.
So what country would you say is better than America, in your opinion?
I wouldn't be able to name a specific one. I'm not educated enough to speak on that.
Rural Portugal.
I just sometimes I complain, but I don't really feel like there's difference between two countries. I prefer not to give you this answer.
This country is the best country on earth, for sure.
Wow. I'm glad to hear. I'm glad you like it here.
Yeah, I love it. Most countries in the world, we cannot really have a conversation without fear, without the government going after you. This conversation wouldn't be possible in Cuba, Venezuela, China. We can talk, we can disagree. So I think this is a great country and we should celebrate. Why do you think so many people try to come to America, so many immigrants?
I think it's because of the American dream. I mean, I myself come from a family of immigrants, so of course there's that American dream to have more opportunities, have better chances to provide for their kids.
Americans have a lot of access to different resources, like education. I think people probably take for granted here.
Interesting. So what is the American dream?
Owning your own home.
Yeah, and the freedom that you have with that. Yes, absolutely. The freedom to be able to speak out and have different opinions from other folks, and still being, allowed to do so, and not persecuted for it. Yeah. Okay. So, do we celebrate or apologize?
We're going to celebrate.
Yeah, baby.
We're going to have a party.
Yes, we are.
A lot of hot dogs.
All right, we'll talk about celebrating. One Iowa teacher is preparing to retire after 35 years in the classroom, and she's leaving her students with gifts they will never forget.
Second grade teacher Kim Rolfe of Westwood Elementary spent months hand-making personalized quilts for every student in her class. Each quilt was designed around the child's unique personality and interests, from dinosaurs and sports to birthdays and favorite themes. Rolfe says quilting and teaching are two of her greatest passions, and this project was a way to share both as she closes out this chapter of her life. The students were touched by the effort. One girl said every quilt included special details that showed just how well their teacher knew them. Rolf also wrote personal notes to each child, making the gifts even more meaningful. Now, as she says goodbye to the classroom, her students are taking home more than a quilt. They're taking home a warm reminder of a teacher who spent 35 years stitching kindness, encouragement, and love into the lives of children, one student at a time.
Nice.
Yeah, Peggy's a quilter, and I have to tell you, it's a lot of work.
Oh, no doubt.
Not to mention it's an addiction.
And what a great keepsake, though. Pam has a quilt that her grandma made.
Oh.
And we still have that.
See?
And it's just wonderful.
There's a quilting ministry here in Southern Oregon that gives quilts to all kinds of situations and conditions, and it's a lot to the dom out there, commissarily, and then they have others that, people suffering from cancer and things like that.
Yeah.
So good stuff.
So let me ask you this. Do you use it? See, that I look at, sometimes when I lay down on the couch, I want to maybe cuddle up for a little nap, and I look at that quilt, and I think,
you grab it.
Yeah. And I do. But okay, thank you.
Good. It's okay. It's all right.
All right, got permission.
All right, chapter 28, Proverbs chapter 28, verse 1. The wicked flee, though no one pursues, but the righteous are as bold as a lion. So be bold today with your faith. Be bold with your goodness. Be bold and buy somebody an apple pie.
For you alone can save. You will deliver me. Yours is the victory.
Applegate River Golf and RV Resort, a pristine 9-hole course alongside the Applegate River. Their clubhouse offers a golf simulator experience. The RV Resort is adjacent to the golf course with convenient pull-through parking. Applegate River Golf and RV Resort. Information at applegaterv.com.
When life feels heavy, your body feels it, your mind feels it. That is why I created Organic Elements Wellness Spa, a place where wellness is not a luxury, it's a way of life. Step into our wellness lounge with a Himalayan salt room, infrared sauna, steam room, and invigorating cold plunge. Restore your nervous system, detox your body, and clear your mind. Then experience customized massage, advanced skin therapies, and result-driven facials, all designed to help you look as good as you feel. There's nothing else like this in Southern Oregon. This is your space to heal, to reset, to glow. Call today to book your private wellness party for up to 15 guests or surprise someone special with a gift certificate.
Visit Organic Elements Wellness Spa on East Main Street in Medford. Book online at organicelementspa.com. Wellness is wholeness. Voted best of Southern Oregon. Have you seen Mornings on the Dove?
Welcome to Mornings on the Dove. Everybody take a big breath. North Korea and South Korea were trying to warm relations. Well, it ended up a little too hot, I guess.
This guy is over the top.
They said it's one of the most advanced fighter aircraft in the world.
Jesus willed that his own executioners keep on living, and that's astounding. What mercy.
Wake up to information. Mornings on the Dove, weekdays.
This week on the John Ankerberg Show, we'll talk about the brave people that are bringing the gospel of Jesus Christ to their people using audio Bibles.
God is working through these audio Bibles. People hear the Word of God, and God the Holy Spirit uses that Word to pierce their heart. I am impressed with how powerful the Word of God is.
Join me for the John Ankerberg Show right here on the Dove TV. It'll be encouraging and informative.
Unchanging truth in an ever-changing world. Turning Point with Dr. David Jeremiah. Wednesdays on the Dove TV. Encouraging and informative.
Well, welcome to Focus Today. I'm your host, Perry Atkinson, and of course, big primary yesterday in California, so very timely. And always an honor. We have time to sit down with our good friend Tom Del Beccaro. He is the author of a fascinating book, quite a few books, but the one, Lessons of the American Civilization, is one that you have to get. It's a small book, but it's a powerful book. I think it's like a textbook you'll end up writing in the margins there. There's a picture of it on the screen. He's also the host of Politics and Perspective with Tom Del Beccaro. He's the former chairman of the California Republican Party and also the author of Historical Perspectives, The Divided Era, and, of course, The New Conservative Paradigm. He's a columnist for Fox News, Fox Business, and Epoch Times, and the publisher of the politicalvanguard.com. He does have a website, tomdell.com, and there's the picture of the landing page. Brother Tom, good to see you. How are you, friend?
I'm doing great. Great to be on.
Thank you for your time. We value it greatly. Well, you live there. What do you think so far?
Well, there's some interesting stats. You find that a poll by my friend, and I think the best pollster in America, John McLaughlin, found that 56% of likely voters in California said it's headed in the wrong direction. Now, when you consider the Democrats have half the voter registration and 2-to-1 over Republicans, that's saying something. In Los Angeles, you had Mayor Bass's negatives in the mid-60s, and she only got currently about 34% of the vote. So what does that tell you? That she's not popular, and her policies aren't either. So there's something brewing here, and you see that in LA with a runoff with a newcomer who showed Republicans what a grassroots, viral social media campaign can be about. And you also saw statewide that the Democrats don't have a favorite son anymore or daughter. Think about it, Perry. At one point, Katie get out of my shot Porter was their number one. That faded. We had Eric, I have a few problems, Swalwell, who was their number one and got cast aside. And now they have Javier, I'm kind of boring, Becerra as their number one. In other words, they don't have a favorite son or daughter. And, it's not clear how things are going to go this fall.
Okay, so let's unpack this. Only 27 points, I think 8 for Hilton, 25.4 for Becerra, excuse me. You add those up, a lot more votes to come in, 2-point difference. Still looks pretty good for Hilton, don't you think?
Yeah, this is the top two format for your listeners and viewers who aren't familiar with the mania that is California. They have a jungle primary. Mm-hmm. So the top two finishers, regardless of party. If you looked at the ballot for the governorship, there were 61 people on it, including some guy named Barack Obama and then other last name. So you have to sift your way through and vote for it. And so you don't have a traditional primary where Republicans line up on one field, Democrats in another, Green Party and the like. And so, yeah, the top Democrat only got a quarter of it. Now, compare this to the last 20 years. Jerry Brown won the governorship twice again, pretty easily in 2010 and 2014. Gavin Newsom won it easily in 2018 and 22. This time around, they have no favorite son. So Democrats are divided, the policies are bad, and Californians are looking for alternatives.
So, do you think part of the fallout here, Tom, with these numbers could be that what the Democrats have done through the years to get the primary system to the way it is, and doing away with closed primaries and going to an open primary, now that it's backfired, the top guy is a Republican. What do they do with the primary system now?
Well, I understand why they're concerned about it, because there was a moment in time where they thought they could get shut out of the primary process, but they got two out of the top three right now. So I think Steve Maviglio, who I used to fence with back in the day, I understand at the time why they brought this up, but if they go on to win the governorship, I don't think they'll upset the apple cart.
All right, let's go down south to the mayor's race. Every place that I went last night and early this morning, it just basically says that Mayor Bass advances, which was obviously, that's all the headline says. Mayor Bass advances. And when you look at it, 35 to 30, she needed 51%. She got 35. Pratt comes along with 30. I mean, this is a shakeup in the making, don't you think?
It is. Keep this in mind. No normal Republican would got in the race. The guy who went against Bass the last time, Caruso, who is, I think, a billionaire and very cautious Republican, let us say, although he's no longer a Republican, he wouldn't get in the race. So this is only because Spencer Pratt, who is a complete newcomer and has no experience, apparently that's Karen Bass's hit on him. He has no experience. Well, what's your experience, Karen? You went and worked in Cuba and got trained as a communist. That's what you consider experience? We could talk about that nationally. But the reality is Spencer Pratt made this a race because he had no fear. And that's why this exists. She would have won yesterday without him being in the race. So he created this, and now the problems of LA and California will be on the ballot this fall and in the news for the next 6 months or 5 months because of his daring.
In her speech last night, she says, now it's time to get back to work and fix LA. What do you do with that?
So if I broaden this out just a little bit, keep this in mind.
Yeah.
The Democrats have a bench problem nationally because when you put ideologues in office with no management skills and bad left-wing policies, godless though they are, we should talk about Tallarico, this is what you get. Failure. Gavin Newsom, failure. Bass, failure. Spanberger, failure in the making. Mickey Sherrill in New Jersey, failure in the making. They have no bench because they have their bad policies married with bad management results in California. So for her to say it's time to fix it, okay, she better buy a economics for communist book or for idiots, that's the way, for dummies, that's what it is. She needs management for dummies and policy for dummies because her policies will never work. There's nothing they can fix. Remember, with 2 weeks to go in the election, Perry, she was talking about why meth addicts need to get teeth on the taxpayer dime. So the chances, it comes down to this in LA. The voters have nothing to lose with her except their lives if they reelect her. So why not try, Spencer Pratt?
That was the message that President Trump used the first time with the black community.
It's true. It's true.
And it worked. It worked. How bad is LA, Tom?
Well, I don't recommend it as a vacation anymore. I mean, it is bad, depending on where you go. I remember way back in the days, I used to say about New York City, I'm originally from Long Island, and I'm a New York Knicks fan, by the way. I would say that you're never more than 2 blocks away from ultimate danger or ultimate luxury. Well, you're more than 2 blocks away in the luxury category in many places, but LA is really bad. The homeless crisis is unbelievable. The business climate is terrible. I mean, they've driven Hollywood to even New Jersey, to Georgia and Romania, literally. So LA is really bad. And they're going to put World Cup games and the Olympics there. I just can't. It could be a disaster.
And what is the follow-up to the Palisades fire? Anything going on there?
The reservoirs are still empty those two reservoirs are still empty going into fire season here. They mismanaged the forest. They burned down. They didn't put any money to expedite permits or to somehow make it affordable. And many of those people cannot recover because they didn't have insurance or insurance that was good enough to rebuild. So you have sort of this permanent blight now. And many are without the money to start repaying the mortgages or otherwise. So they will lose their land permanently. And whether someone comes in and buys it up is an open market question, and so it's bad news. But there's also areas that are subject to being burned again, and they really haven't changed policies. So they still blame it on global warming instead of 1,000-year-old Santa Ana winds.
Well, wasn't that an arson fire? It
was an arson fire that was matched with Santa Ana winds. Long before Santa Ana was a human being that crossed into what is now California, they had the manner of the topography creates these unbelievable winds, and the arsonists knew that. And so it was fire season. You light a fire in fire season, it starts, and then mismanagement, they didn't put it out all the way because they didn't want to damage plants. All these things come together. So, but Gavin Newsom blamed it on you and me driving an SUV. It's ridiculous.
One last question before I take a break. All of this that's going on in California, and now that you possibly could get a Republican governor, I did notice in some of the Senate or the Assembly and Senate seats, there was some strong red appearance. And then what's going on down in L.A. County, how does Governor Newsom advance himself with this kind of a record behind him?
Well, California is also the state of denial, Perry.
Yeah.
And it's virtue signaling when you run for office among the Democrats. We should, in the second half of this, we should talk about this, who the Democrats put forward and claim that they have a chance to win, and even some who get in office, like in New Jersey. You're going to have a Democrat who lied on the stand for the blind shake as a sympathizer for 9/11, and yet that person's going to be in Congress. So on the left, getting nominated doesn't mean you face up to reality.
Yeah. All right, let me take a quick break. Check out Tom's website, tomdale.com, but also get a copy of his book. It's perfect for this season that we're in. It's called The American Civilization. There's a picture of the cover of the book, and it's a textbook. You could read it in a couple of hours, but you won't put it down. I'll tell you that. We'll be right back.
Have you seen Mornings on the Dove?
Welcome to Mornings on the Dove. Everybody take a big breath. North Korea and South Korea were trying to warm relations. Well, it ended up a little too hot, I guess.
This guy is over the top.
They said it's one of the most advanced fighter aircrafts in the world.
Jesus willed that his own executioners keep on living, and that's astounding. What mercy.
Wake up to information. Mornings on the Dove, weekdays.
Having Kelly's be an automotive shop that takes care of people first is everything that you could hope it could be. Customer service and caring about others first is extremely important, and why we come here, and why we keep coming here, and now why our children come here. The first experience they had with Kelly's, got in right away, took care of them, was honest with them, and they were like, I'm going nowhere else but Kelly's from here on out. And so just in one experience, you have 18-year-old kids being like, that's where I'm taking my car.
Your sweet tooth just became a force for good. The Salvation Army's Taste Good, Do Good Challenge is on June 5th through the 30th. And local bakeries, restaurants, and shops are serving up exclusive treats you can only get during the challenge. Hit different spots, collect punches, and vote for the best bite in town. And every delicious stop helps support local kids and veterans right here in our community. Start your adventure at tastegooddogood.net.
Hi, I'm Ryan Robertson, host of a brand new program on the Dove, Ministries on the Move. Ministries on the Move spotlights the incredible work of how God is using everyday people and organizations, putting their faith into action, serving the hurting, strengthening families, and sharing the hope of the gospel in practical ways. Be inspired and discover these ministries on the move. Tuesdays and Thursdays at 4 p.m., right here on the Dove TV. Encouraging and informative. More at thedove.us.
Hi, welcome back. 15 minutes past the hour. Always a delight to have with us Tom Dale Baccaro. He's the author of a fascinating book called The Lessons of the American Civilization. Check that out. His website is tomdale.com. One last quick question about California, Tom. How would you describe your California Republican Party today?
Well, in the immortal words of from Casablanca, Rick, it's not particularly my beloved Paris. It doesn't have a center of gravity.
Okay.
It's not a beacon of light or answers for voters. It doesn't talk to voters enough. It has declined, and that is a problem.
I get it. I asked that reason for that same reason.
Okay, but you got to let me say something about Tallarico in Texas.
Well, that's where I was going to go. Let me frame this question a little bit here, okay? And that is, with our shared values of faith, here comes Tallarico, who is supposedly a seminary student running for the U.S. Senate, redefining what the Bible really says, and getting accolades from the left unlike anything we've ever seen. How much of a threat is he in the political arena against the Christian faith, the true Christian faith?
So, James Tallarico embodies the decline of a civilization. If you wanted to create a storybook character of what it means to decline as a civilization, this is him. He is of weak mind, almost no faith whatsoever, yet parades around like the king who has no clothing. And so let me drill down just for a bit. What does he say? He said God is non-binary. Forget the fact that Christ said, no one comes through the Father but through me. Last I checked, fathers are men, but you never know on the left. They may have, figured something out. I don't know. But he also said God has many names, and it proceeds to go through it of all the names through all the religions. So what is he really saying? And he does this under the roof of a so-called church. What he's really saying is he believes in nothing. Civilizations are born in faith, and they die in skepticism and doubt. What is Tallarico? He's telling you that God is really everything, and therefore, Perry, God is nothing. There is a difference between omnipotence and having no definition. God is everywhere. He is omnipotent, but he is not nothing. He can't be defined endlessly by whoever wants to define him. And that, when a civilization gets to the point where there is no meaning to something as core as what is God and what is his message, you have reached that age of doubt and skepticism. So the Democrats embrace this man at the same time they embrace Graham Plattner, who wears a Nazi symbol for 21 years and says, oh, I didn't know what it meant. Really? So what do they have? They will embrace anything, and therefore there is no meaning. That is the only sin among Democrats today, is losing.
Well said. my concern.
I mean, I've been waiting to come on your show and say that. By the way.
Well, you did a good job. No, all right. There's a couple other sides to this. One is the left is picking up on him as being the antidote to Christians being involved in public life. In other words, he was quoting Ephesians where there is no male or female. You know, he was talking about Paul talking about that. You know, the point being is he's really way out there, but he's doing it under the umbrella of Christianity. And as crazy as it is, it's given the left a new identity to Christianity that they seem to be embracing. The question I would have, even in Texas, as red as it is, does it fly?
Well, they're currently embracing because they will move on from him once he loses.
So, okay, to that point, do you think he's being used? And that was my next point. Do you think he's being used by the left as much as they can use him and then they'll dump him?
Do you remember when John Kerry accepted the nomination for presidency and he stood up and he said, John Kerry reporting for duty. And he saluted. Suddenly the party of pacifism was respecting someone in the military. The modern Democrat just embraces whoever it is. And it could be in the same election, complete opposites. And say, as Elizabeth Warren did, he's my kind of man. So Tallarico is a temporary existence. He embodies the decline of the civilization. He's weak of mind, spirit, faith, and body. But he's the person they're running with now, and they'll find someone else the next time around.
Back to Plattner just for a moment. He's getting the endorsements of everybody, Schumer, and everybody's coming alongside this guy. Not only does he have, the Nazi tattoo, but now he's tied up in this sexting thing. That's a scandal. He's got his wife out trying to do diversion for
damage control.
But it's just amazing. I mean, it's all there, and yet they're embracing. And here's the deal: he's all these things, but he's not a Republican. Therefore, we have to support him.
Yeah, that's 100%. They would. I mean, if the devil walked along and he pulled well in a certain district, they might pick him up. And again, this is what socialism is. Socialism isn't about values or helping people. It's about power. Why else do you say with a straight face, Hakeem Jeffries, the current Supreme Court is corrupt, so we want to put all our people on it because that will somehow make it uncorrupt? Yeah. I mean, it's staggering. They're so far from where our founders were. I want people always to remember two things about our founders. The church and state thing wasn't a letter, but they said a free society required faith and an adherence to godliness. They didn't think people could stand on their own. They knew how corruption corrupts. John Adams attended church services in the U.S. Capitol when he was president. So where's the separation? When you go to the speakers, to the House of Representatives, and you look down upon the rostrum, anybody who's done that, there's all these reliefs of all these amazing people in history. When you turn around, there's only one straight-on face, the whole face, as opposed to a profile, and that is Moses. So don't tell me, and that was built over after it was burned down, so it didn't reopen until I think the 1830s. So don't tell me that they wanted to run God out of the public square. Mm-hmm. A civilization cannot survive without a moral code. A moral code cannot survive with a religious and educational institutions to buttress it. And yet that is the very cliff the Democrats are driving toward.
Do you think the Democrats have reached a breaking point in their attempt to demoralize America?
I'll have to ask Nero. I'm an attorney in politics, so I might not make it to heaven. So societies in history become very rich, they advance science and think they know better, they tend to collapse, and religion, which has famously died many times, is revived. And the problem with the state is that it is meaningless. Materialism is meaningless. That's why you're seeing some revival around American youth, because they've had meaninglessness for such a long period of time and they've been under attack. So I think the left is pigeonholing itself to becoming the Labor Party, where they will be in the minority. When you look at redistricting, along with the Supreme Court case for racial gerrymandering, they could lose up to 20 seats by 2032. They certainly won't have the Senate under those circumstances. So the more radical they become, but defeated.
Let me ask you one more question before I run out of time here, Tom, and that is back to the Texas Senate race. John Cornyn and Mr. Paxton. Senator Thune spent $150 million trying to take out Paxton, a conservative. It's hard for me to believe this, you and I being Republican leaders, and how this would take place. But $150 million to take out a conservative, and they lost. Is Thune in trouble down the road?
Well, I don't think history's going to look back well at a party that couldn't pass the SAVE Act.
Right.
And he's in charge. So no, I don't think he's positioned himself well. Now look, I understand Paxton's got some interesting baggage.
Yeah.
And that is what Thune, Cornyn, and Thune's mentor, the former Republican leader in the Senate, that's what they were focused on. But Paxton's victory is a warning sign to them, and whether they pick up on it is anybody's guess still.
Okay. Good to see you. I'm going to let you work on your California tan since you're outside. Go to TomDale.com. That's his website. Certainly pick up a copy of his book, The Lessons of the American Civilization, and check out his podcast as well. Good to see you, brother. Thank you for your time.
It's good, and it turns out that it is God the Father, and I'm going to stick with that, not whatever the Dems are saying.
Amen. God bless you, bud.
Hi, I'm the SOS Alarm guy, here to tell you about a great deal. SOS Alarm will not only beat any internet deal, but will install the system too. So burglars, beware. SOS Alarm for security and beyond.
Fall in love with Northridge Senior Living, where contemporary, sunlit interiors meet old-world elegance. Walk through our lovely hallways and enjoy the fun staff-led activities. Forge lasting friendships with other residents and our exceptional caregivers. Dine in style. Gather near the fireplace under breathtaking chandeliers. Our reasonably priced apartments are spacious with private balconies. Northridge is Christian-owned and operated, pet-friendly, and only 2 blocks from Asante Rogue Regional Medical Center. On-site, in-home care is available. We also offer senior adult daycare, where your loved one can spend the day with us, and the evenings with you. Northridge Senior Living. Your home.
The Dove is shining with a brand new show, Season to Shine.
I'm Melinda Robertson, host of Season to Shine, a new heartfelt, inspiring program for women designed to bring encouragement, wisdom, and hope into your everyday life. We'll help you discover God's purpose in every season, empowering you to shine with confidence, faith, and joy. It's your season to shine. Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays at 4 p.m. on the Dove TV. More at thedove.us.
Okay, Welcome back, and it's been a while, but always a delight when we have time to sit down with Richard C. Lyons. He's a world historian, third-generation printer who's been involved in publishing and stage and television productions throughout his career. He's the author of a trilogy of the American government, with his latest one being, which is the third volume, Passage Through the Shadows. And there's a picture of the cover of that book right there. He does have a website, richardclyons.com. And there's the landing page, richardclyons.com. Brother Richard, good to see you, friend. How are you, bud?
Oh, great to see you again, Perry. Wonderful to join you.
Yeah, good stuff all the way around. A lot to talk about. Just a little bit off the top. Big primary yesterday in California. Hilton moves ahead. And this little guy, Pratt, down there is knocking Bass around in Southern Cal for the mayorship. What's your take?
We can only hope, right, Perry?
Yeah.
That the ineffective programs of the Democrat Party that have made perhaps our most beautiful and vibrant state one of the worst in the country, that the Democrats in California will wake up. Those who have been voting Democrat for generations will change their vote now to Republican.
Okay. We'll see as we move now towards November. Well, the other big thing is the 250th birthday of the United States. Your passion in writing about American government, how significant do you think this one is?
I think it's extremely significant, Perry, in that I can't think of a democracy that lasted this long, but we have to be mindful of the warning of Alexander Tytler, who was a contemporary of the founding generation. And like so many of his peers, he studied Greek democracies and the Roman Republic in depth and came to the studied conclusion that democracies only last roughly 200 years until the larger elements of the population find they can vote themselves benefits from the common treasury and therefore destroy property rights.
Okay. Is our republic in decline?
I do not think it is in decline. I think we are being attacked from within by the socialists that have been. Socialism's been growing in this country now 100 years. Perry, we've spoken about this on other of your shows. Mm-hmm. It has been growing since the time of Woodrow Wilson. It has grown by not being named. It has grown because the Democrats do not run their campaigns on the fact that they're socialists. But having grown for 100 years now, as is evidenced in the administrative state, which is a structure that Woodrow Wilson created and which is antithetical because it's full of appointed, unelected people who have a lot to do with the governance of this country. We are at a tipping point now. We are at a profound Y in the road where we're either going to return to founding principles or we're going to be the prey of a party that is now more aligned to what the Soviet Union was than what the United States was. That's very dangerous when you consider, I know for your network, freedom of faith is the profound right, and it should be. One of the acts of the Bolsheviks when they won in Russia, they burned down 40,000 churches after they looted them and killed all the clerics. That is what socialism is. And now it's out in America. After having been in our educational institutions, cultural institutions, now they're in the streets, as announced in 2020 by their looting and burning 200 cities.
Do you think America has woken up to what you just said?
I find it so odd that it's so quiet. But those who have to wake up are the 50% of the Democrats who have voted Democrat just because their grandfather voted Democrat. This is not that Democrat party. This is a party that is, and I did so in Shadows of the Acropolis. Thank you for mentioning my series. In volume 2, pages 380 and 381, I put side by side our founding principles against socialist principles. Perry, they're not just dissimilar. They're not of a kind. They are diametric opposites, so that one cancels the other. If you are socialist, you cannot be in harmony with our founding principles. And now we are at that point where either we're going to be one or the other, because socialism doesn't allow for competition.
Doesn't the second election of President Trump, with the hiatus of 4 years of extreme socialism in the White House, say that we are waking up, even though they've tried to kill him and lawfare him out of office, that we are waking up, that we put him back in office because we didn't like what we saw. The question is, they've demonized him so bad, does this thing have any coattails to it?
I think it is to the great hope of the country that socialist policies, when they are enacted, are repudiated consistently. When you call socialism socialism, when someone stands up beside Hassan Piker, stands beside that radical, violent person and says, I'm a socialist, that candidate, let's see if they lose in November. Let's see if those persons pleading for the end of Israel, demanding that they be obliterated, let's see if they get elected. And there are those on ballots this November.
When you have people like Alan Dershowitz, who was proudly a Democrat almost from birth, go to independent and then recently say, no, that's not far enough, I'm becoming a Republican. That's quite a switch, especially with a guy like him and in his position.
It's a wonderful hope, but it tells the whole nation, I hope, because Alan Dershowitz is so respected, an intellect and a believer in liberalism, that today's socialism isn't liberalism. They hid behind that patina for decades, but it is not that anymore. Socialism will trample on every right we have as individuals to empower the state and the right of the state to our wealth, our belief system, our education system, our economy. They spare nothing. And I'm very delighted that Alan Dershowitz stood at great cost to him socially, to great cost to him with regard to Harvard, and said, I've had enough of this. Half the Democratic Party, if they knew what the Democrat really is today, would do the same.
All right. Now, I was chairman of the Republican Party here in the state of Oregon for 4 years. I had a son that served in the legislature for 14 years. So we have those dirty T-shirts and scars. But here's something that's so interesting to me is the number one voting group in Oregon and throughout the country is independents. People are turned off by party politics on both sides. But given what's going on, do you think that middle is left-leaning or right-leaning?
I think the emergence of Spencer Pratt is a great thing in California and Steve Hilton, because they're pleading something that the middle wants. Rather than party identification, how about common sense? Instead of caring about illegal immigrants, what about my family? Instead of sheltering criminal gangs, how about my children being able to walk to their school or get on the metro and not be
right.
assaulted.
Do you think if you look back just over, say, the past 10 years, the demoralization of America is frightening?
Yeah.
It's frightening. I mean, all this nonsense that we're dealing with came from the left. It's a purposely driven to demoralize America where anything goes. But it looks like it may be hitting the wall when you have the younger generation turning to faith because the culture has lied to them. Something is moving. Do you sense that?
Yes, and it's a wonderful, again, emergence of a generation that has all this social media. In other words, you can go anywhere for content. You can get any content you want. And the content they are thirsting for is the cup of Christ.
Okay. Is the attack against the president working?
I think it's helping to focus a large amount of our population. I mean, when you go back, Perry, think about this. Think about how long you and I have been talking now.
Mm-hmm.
And think about going back to the 2016 when there was a systematic coup launched against Donald Trump. And the moment the day after the Mueller investigation ended with Trump being completely exonerated, but not found innocent, right? That's key. The impeachments began the day after. And then when he leaves office, the January 6th matter begins. When he's out of office, lawfare occurs. While he's out of office, Mar-a-Lago is literally invaded. And all of this has occurred. And if people don't wake up to the fact that this is how socialism works against any opposite, when Trump leaves office in 2028, whoever his successor is will not be given any leniency by the left. They will come at him with everything they can. They do not believe. The problem is, Perry, we don't have a common ground anymore. Our common ground used to be the public square, and in the public square was the Constitution. And both sides agreed that that was the legal limit of our political ability to rule the country. Now socialism, if it cannot win elections, will steal them. If they cannot win elections, they'll burn down cities. If they can't win an election, they'll assassinate their opponent or seek to get them jailed or at least thrown out of office by means that have been proven, if going back to the Russia hoax, to be profoundly illegal.
One last question before I take a break. There seems to be a real problem in our judiciary below the Supreme Court, in the lower courts. And even to the point where the lawfare was going on, we found the motives of these people, judges, attorney generals. They were exposed. They were found to be guilty of everything that they were accused of, but no indictments and no one's gone to jail.
Yes, if you don't have to pay for wrongdoing, and this goes, if you're at the Walgreens and you're a kid and you steal a candy bar and nobody catches you, tomorrow you're going to do it twice. Third day, not being caught, you'll do it 3 times. You'll want the candy bar. For the left, law is not the matter anymore. Winning power is. They do not regard facts as evidence before law. They regard who they are and their bias as being the foundation of their verdicts.
All right, let me take a quick break. Check out Richard's trilogy on the American government. All 3 books are just fascinating, but his 3rd one is out now, The Passage Through the Shadows. There's the picture of the cover of the book. His website is richardclyons.com. Where can they get all 3 books, Richard?
Through RichardCLyons.com. I run a little shop, Perry.
Okay.
Also at Amazon or any retailer. But I'm having, in honor of the nation's birthday, if you go to the DNAofdemocracy.com, you can download for free the digital book or the audio book for your car.
Good. Thank you. All right, check it out.
Welcome.
RichardCLyons.com or DNA.com. We'll be right back.
DNAofdemocracy.com.
DNAdemocracy.com. We'll be right back.
I'm Susanna, and I contracted KA Designs to do custom cabinets throughout my house. We chose a really beautiful maple wood that really creates like a nice airy space. Everything was custom, and it was really cool because I got to literally see it come to life in person. We love to entertain, and we have a large family, so everything came together perfectly, exactly what I wanted. I highly suggest KA Designs if you're looking to design your dream house. Go check them out in their showroom. You will not be disappointed.
Bah, humbug! And don't do what I did. Go to Father and Son Jewelry.
At Father and Son Jewelry, you'll save 50% off all Black Hills gold. Diamond earrings starting at $49.99. Silver, 50% off. All in-stock gold hoops and pearls, 50% off. 1/3 off all our engagement sets. Prices so low, even Scrooge would approve.
God bless us, one and all.
Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
This week on the John Ankerberg Show, we'll talk about the brave people that are bringing the gospel of Jesus Christ to their people using audio Bibles.
God is working through these audio Bibles. People hear the Word of God, and God, the Holy Spirit, uses that Word to pierce their heart. I am impressed with how powerful the Word of God is.
Join me for the John Ankerberg Show right here on the Dove TV. It'll be encouraging and informative.
Okay, welcome back. Honored to have back with us. It's been a little while. Richard C. Lyons is with us, and check out his trilogy of the American government, and his latest one is The Passage Through the Shadows. And of course, then the other one, they're all there at richardclyons.com, but check out DNAofdemocracy.com, and there's a free download there for audio. Check it out. I was trying to figure out, Richard, I was going to ask this question. It's something that kind of been on my mind. And I'm not looking for things to be conspiratorial. It's just that some things seem to be obvious. And I want to go to Mayor Mondani in New York. It appears to me, my opinion, that he used socialism to get elected. In other words, we're going to give you free groceries. We're going to reduce your rent. We're going to do all the socialist things that socialists do. We're going to make life real easy, and we're going to pay for it. Okay, and I think that's being played out. So he used socialism to get elected. But his main drive in life is his theology, his belief system, which is, at the end of the day, I'm going to own you and you're going to bow to my God. Do you think we see this?
I think you're exactly right. And I think Islamism is using socialism to break our free enterprise system. And I think socialism is using Islam to attack our basic rights, such as right to faith, and our legal system by saying Muslims ought to have their own legal system based on Sharia. Well, the miracle of our government is the common law, and has been since Magna Carta in England. So yes, I think the socialists are using Islam and the Islamists are using socialism, both to break the common ground that is American. I think that's a great point you make. The problem is they are mutually, if they win, think out, in the future, if they win, the biggest enemy of an Islam will be a socialist, and the biggest enemy of a socialist will be someone of the Muslim faith.
Yeah.
But they work together now in hopes of our demise.
All we have to do is look across the pond and see that it's not working. When England, the UK has allowed coexistence of Sharia law with parliamentary law, they may be lost. I mean, it is really close for them.
It is. I have, one of my heroes these days is Nigel Farage, because he fought so hard and at such personal expense for Brexit, which saved England, or should save England. We still have to see, don't we, Barry?
Mm-hmm.
But to save England from the autocracy that is the EU and Brussels, which is demanding the concentration of power in Brussels over all these countries of the EU, much as we are suffering from a concentration of power in Washington, D.C. over all of our states.
Yeah.
But Nigel Farage is the one saying, wait a minute, we're losing our entire culture. The culture is based on common law. It literally goes back to 1215. How many years ago is that? It's 800, how many years ago?
Mm-hmm.
And it's being attacked because you cannot, in a common legal system, survive with two bodies of law. You cannot sit in one part of England and be governed by Sharia law and have a neighboring community governed by common law. And the two are antithetical. And it is, let's go back to religion a minute. And this is really profound. It goes back to the origins of the Abrahamic faiths. If you are a Jew, no one else has to be a Jew. You're not looking to recruit anyone to being a Jew, but you will defend yourself to the death. You'll defend your wife, your family, your mother, your parents. The Christian will proselytize. And if you want to become a Christian, you will be welcome into the Christian faith. But they can only proselytize. They can only. In the Muslim faith, you can convert people either with the tongue or the hand or the sword. That means if you do not convert to Islam, I have the right to cut your throat. And that is the difference.
Yeah.
And if you're introducing the Muslim faith into either an area of Judaism, as we see in New York, or into a Christian country like England, that is, at its base, a Christian country,
mm-hmm.
you will find all sorts of violence because Muslims aren't interested. The hardline Muslim is not interested in coexistence.
Yeah. All right, so back to our celebration of being America for 250 years and what it is to be free and have liberty. I'm wondering if we can be humbled by the fact that 250 years later we still are free and we still have liberty.
Yeah, I think we should be profoundly grateful. I mean, profoundly grateful for all those who suffered so much in the Revolutionary War, in the Civil War, World War I, World War II, Korean War, Vietnam, in the Middle Eastern wars now for the past 20 years, to provide a cloak for our liberties. But now, our main worry now, and I'm so thankful for your show, is that we have an American public that has been systematically educated in the glories of socialism and how capitalism is an awful system. And if we can't do things legally, we should do it illegally in order to establish our power as a socialist party. These things are extremely dangerous. The country needs to voluntarily educate itself in the profound and unique experience of our founding.
Yeah. You're experienced in media. I live here, and I read the trades daily. And in spite of the loud voice of the left, their numbers just aren't there. Even in ratings, you can take all of this legacy media and add it up. And I'm not promoting Fox News or Newsmax, but it doesn't even compare in viewers and numbers. So there is a shift in spite of the fact that the left seems to be extremely vocal and supposedly control the legacy media, but it doesn't seem to be growing its base.
That, again, is a great point, and it shouldn't, because if you see socialism for what it is not palatable to the American taste. It's un-American. And so there should be a revolt against that. And when you have your comedians taking it upon themselves to demand that if you're a moral person, you have to be a socialist. To be a good person, you have to be a socialist. You have to allow armies of illegal immigrants into America. You have to set up sanctuary cities. And there again, you have the Sharia law idea that you can have two systems of law. These things are unpalatable to the basics of the American soul. And so that's a great point. There is a decline in their numbers as the media is fracturing and has been, for this while now that the internet exists.
Yeah. Richard, you're an inspiration. Thank you, friend, for your time. I value it greatly. Thank you for making your books available. Go to DNAdemocracy.com. And
you have to add the.
Okay.
theDNAofDemocracy.com.
All right, the DNAofDemocracy.com. Sorry about that. Check it out. You'll be able to download the audio version of the books there.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. And then go to richardclyons.com, and you can check out all three of the trilogy, with the latest one being The Passage Through the Shadows. Thank you, my friend. Good to see you. Stay in the fight. We need you, man.
Thank you, Perry. We need your show.
I'll see you later.
Thank you.